think Tennessee has to make a statement on their first opening kickoff in the first drive. And if that's going to be with the run, we should see what they're going to try to do on the first series, simply because if they're stronger run-wise, they'll take advantage of that and try to put this team out of its misery right away. If that's not the case, it could be a long, long day.
All right, we're set to go here. The Southern Miss team under Jeff Bauer, enjoying a great year. They've lost only to Alabama and to Tennessee, or to Florida. Tennessee hopes they'll lose to Tennessee right here. The ball springing across the 25 out to the 27-yard line, and they will put it in play at that point. Dwayne Goodrich, defensive back, kick returner, brings it out. Levine is a little bit hobbled. We don't know how much action he's going to see today. We can tell you there has been a change too. Cozy Coleman is getting a starting role today in place of Rito. You saw the numbers there on Peyton Manning enjoying a Heisman year. Most people think it's his to lose and that he's still the leader in the Heisman race. All right, he's got the two-back set. Maybe checking off at the line of scrimmage, and Tennessee jumps, and right away we have a mistake.
Not a good sign. Not a good sign. Concentration error right there. The Southern Miss defense is going to jump around. They're going to do a lot of things similar to the UCLA defense. But
all right, the referee is Steve Landis, by the way, making the call. Tennessee illegal motion.
Tennessee's got to keep their poise. They can't be distracted by the movement of the defense. So it's going to happen all day. You just got to keep your concentration and play football. Peyton
says the Southern Miss team jumps around similar to UCLA. Here is a nice run off tackle by Jamal Lewis. Jamal that time just following his left guard and left tackle, but also he can make it on his own. There's the starting offense for Tennessee. Manning and Lewis, Bryson Gradier at fullback, Nash and Price at wide receiver, and Copeland at split end. Clifton, Riley, Teague, Hamilton, and Coleman. Coleman starting for Jarvis Rito, who's got a little bit of a muscle strain, quad strain. Again, Manning looks over the defense. Southern Miss cheats up a little, and Jamal takes it outside. There's not much there. Southern really on top of that one and smelled it out. That's Robert Brown. Here's the defense. Brown, Nick Scott, Thomas Pollard. Bell is starting now in place of their great all-conference player. Surtain, watch him at corner. He's very dangerous. Mallard, Alexander, and Phoenix. All those DBs are very good, as a matter of fact. Tennessee receivers got their work cut out. There's Surtain cheating up on the line, getting as close to the receiver as he can. Peyton looking it over. Got a throw. Got his man. It is complete. The 40-yard line. Complete to Peerless Price.
Just saw something very interesting there. With this replay, you can see with the four wides, Tennessee has eliminated the defense from jumping around so much. When you go four wides, you take away one of the guys you can play with inside. They have to go out and line up on a receiver. They were actually man-to-man, and that's in the Tennessee Volunteers' favor.
Covered 13 yards, picked up the first down, ball at Tennessee's own 40-yard line. Again, Tennessee in the I backfield. Two receivers at the top of your screen. Right guard, tackle, and not a whole lot there that time. Jamal Lewis trying to find some blockers in front of him and sort of faded out on him there as Brian Bell, outside linebacker, broke it down. There's Jamal Lewis's numbers right now. And 7.2 average is the impressive thing.
That is very impressive. I'll be surprised if he can keep that up, but if he can, that would be unbelievable.
All right, Tennessee with short yardage on the first down here, so it's second down and a good solid 8 yards to go. Same formation. Manning sets in the pocket and fires. It is incomplete, or is it complete? They may rule it complete. Marcus Nash caught it. Ball squirted out, but he was on the ground, so they're going to say the ground, I guess, caused that. Nope. Maybe one official is going to overrule the other one, Codridge.
This looks like an incomplete pass from this up here in the booth, but yeah, they got it together. That's the correct call.
The official on the near side had his the receiver had his back to him, he did really complete or stepped in to spot the ball, and then a couple of other officials came up and correctly waved it off. So it becomes now a third down situation for Tennessee. Third and about 8 yards to go for a first. So you figure through the air. The defense also figures that.
It's another full wide set. As you can see, there's not a lot of jumping around on defense anymore. They've got certain men they've got to cover.
And out here to Copeland. Copeland with a good move and down across the 40 to the Southern Miss 38-yard line. 14 yards and a first down for Copeland. Manning to Copeland. Tackle made by linebacker Latrell Pollard.
Well, they tried to disguise as a corner blitz, and the linebacker did not get out in time. Jermaine Copeland was wide open from the start. Nobody covered him, which led to a 14-yard gain. As you can see, the linebacker's trying to trail and get there late, but he was too late. That's what happens when you're trying to disguise defenses.
Excuse me, Condridge. Royal Bell started this game at middle linebacker in place of Kenny. Kenny with a knee injury, and he's a great pro prospect, not able to play. Here's a pass complete to Marcus Nash. He's across the 30, the Southern Miss's 28-yard line, and Patrick Surtain, up for a corner, made the stop of Marcus Nash.
Peyton.
There's Marcus's numbers.
Peyton's not the type of guy you want to try to trick all the time. You can do it once in a while, but if you do it on a steady basis like Southern Miss is trying to do, he will pick you apart, and he's starting to realize that when they do this, the jumping around on defense, they can't cover the two outside guys. They're one-on-one. They can throw the quick game all day.
Well, they're going to bring the chains in to see if indeed it is a first down. There you see Peyton Manning along with the official looking very closely at this one. Temperature about 45 degrees here today, and it's the wind is light. That's good. It's not a factor at all in the kicking or the passing game right now. There is perhaps a chance for a shower. There's Peyton, Ball's all-time career leader in completions. And tell you what, before he leaves here, he could set many records that will be Condridge almost insurmountable.
Well, Bob, remember this time last year we were talking about Peyton passing me in the yardage, and I said for the other five guys to get ready to do the same speech I did. Well, it's come. The time has come.
Well, you see, it's down to 44. You made an interesting observation about the South Carolina game. Some people said he didn't play that well, and you said, well, that's his fault because he set the standard.
Oh, yes, he set his own standards. He's having to play and compete against himself, so that's pretty high standards to compete against every year, every game.
Little quick pop in the middle to Sean Bryson, the fullback, and he got the first down and moves the sticks. I tell you what, you can't say enough about Sean Bryson. He started out as a tailback, and of course he's come on now as a fullback, does a nice job in short yardage situations like that, but what he really does well, Condridge, is block.
He sure does. He's the lead blocker of most of the isolation plays, and he does a fine job, doesn't complain, loves his job, and he's a great football player.
All right. One of the Tennessee linemen hobbling a little bit right there. This is the 9th play in the drive. Manning's got time in the pocket, throws low, but the pass is complete to Jermaine Copeland. There's Jermaine, who comes out of Harriman, Tennessee. You see his numbers, and he's having a very, very good year. He's probably the best on the team at catching it in a crowd.
He has done that time after time, game after game. He's been very consistent. He's a converted quarterback, and he kind of likes that wide receiver spot. He wants to stay there. Well,
he'll have a chance to play on Sunday someday from that position, no doubt. He's very, very strong, too. Peyton, play action, comes out here, too, Jermaine, and he's inside the 15 down to about the 11-yard line. 11 yards on that particular play. Peyton Manning hooking up with Copeland. Over 100,000 in here. It's homecoming. Lights on. Field in very good condition.
Play action pass with a little flat pattern, and this is good. Good power running there by Jermaine. Not very often you see quarterbacks run over people, but I guess when they convert to wide receiver, they get a little tougher. But that's a good, tough play right there by Jermaine Copeland.
3 receptions for 35 yards for Copeland. Here's Manning rolling out to his left, throws on the run, and incomplete. In the hands of Sean Bryson. Kind of a tough pass to handle, but probably should have caught it. Tennessee driving, coming in here favored by about 19 points over the Southern Miss team. Tennessee playing 2 games in a row, which is a little bit unusual, Godrich. These open dates, I think, have hurt Tennessee's offense this year. Not the defense, perhaps, but the offense has always come back after an open date and seemed to be a little bit out of sync at times.
A little rusty. That has happened. But I talked to some of the players, and they enjoy playing games back-to-back. They don't really like the open dates, but they have to put up with them.
Sent Nash in motion and threw to him out there, and it is complete, but not a whole lot of yardage picked up on this one. It's still shy of the 10-yard line. Southern Miss lost only to Florida and to Alabama. They have won 4 in a row. They are 4-0 in their conference, which is Conference USA. 3rd down, need about 9 for a first, 11 for a touchdown. 12 plays. It's taken 6 minutes off the clock so far. Manning probably is checking off at this point. Got some time, fires, almost intercepted. Larry Watts, number 13, was right there in the path, and so that'll have to bring on Jeff Hall. Tennessee has
very fortunate there. This ball should have been picked off. That was just a little indecision there. When you get in that situation with a kicker, kicking game such as Tennessee has, throw the ball in the end zone, take the 3 points.
Tennessee's got good production this year from Jeff. In fact, percentage-wise, he leads the conference. He's 10 out of 12. And this one is set down. The kick is up. It's on the way. It's a 28-yarder, and it is good. So Tennessee takes a 3-0 lead over the Golden Eagles of Southern Mississippi here in the first quarter of play. 8:43 remaining in the quarter. Tennessee has won 27 of their last 31 games, 23-1 in the last 24 league games, and 19 of the last 20 at Neyland. Last 4 games, the Vols have had 796 yards rushing and 1,144 passing, Conridge, and that's what we were talking about earlier in the year. That was like a 10-to-1 ratio almost.
Yes, it was.
They have tightened that up a great deal, and you saw some pretty good running in that drive and also some pretty good passing, but Tennessee would have liked to have gotten it into the end zone, but they'll take the 3 points. Smokey's kind of happy with that situation right now. All is set to kick off now to Southern Miss. Gideon should be the man back there. Sherrard Gideon, who is an excellent wide receiver. But he is he's on the side. They're dropping somebody else into the middle back there. Florida a winner today, earlier over Vanderbilt. The Gators, of course, have lost 2 in the conference now. They've got 1 more conference game to go. That is against South Carolina, and then they have their regular non-conference foe to wrap it up against Florida State. Tennessee simply has got to win out. It's one of those high sort of pooch kicks, and Southern Miss is taking it on the 29-yard line, and Upman takes it right there. That is Harold Shaw, the tailback, starting tailback, who takes it, and that's where Southern will put it in play. Pretty good field position. I assume, Conridge, a planned play?
I would think so, but I in the past that play has been executed when there was a big lineman on the kickoff team, and the question was, could he catch the football and try to kick it to him, and hopefully that he'd fumble it. But that was a running back, so maybe it wasn't a play.
Lee Roberts is the quarterback. He's a junior, experienced. Shaw is behind him at tailback. Doesn't even look at his tailback. Fires out in the flat, and it is complete at the 50-yard line. It was a comeback play by Hurd. He did a nice job of coming back. It covers 15 yards. Actually, it was not a great pass, Conridge. As a result, the receiver turned it into a good play.
Well, actually, that play is practice. It's called a fade stop. And what you do is you run a fade pattern. The quarterback deliberately throws it short because the defensive back cannot see the ball, and the receiver comes back to it and makes the kick.
So, Southern Miss with a big first down, just inches shy of the midfield mark. And a man in motion to the right. Robert stands up and fires down the sidelines. incomplete. Terry Fair running with the intended receiver, Gideon. Philip Fulmer compared Gideon to Jaquez Green of Florida. That's a pretty good compliment right there. Here's your offensive lineup. Roberts and Shaw in the backfield. Gideon, a fine receiver. Another Shaw. Eric's very good also. And Pinkston there is an excellent football player. The offensive front, and for the most part, very experienced. We saw most of these guys a couple of years ago right here. Here's a quick handoff to Shaw. Shaw got through him outside, got the first down and a plus yard, and is out of bounds. A little quick pop, which is almost like a draw play in Condridge, and they made the most of it. Here's the UT defense. Brown, Ratliff, Duff, Terry, Wilson, Little, and Thompson. Little will move around. He actually had a couple of plays the last game when he lined up at tackle. They were trying to mismatch him with a guard, and it worked. So we obviously had a flag on this play, and it's going to be stepped off. Here it comes against Southern. It's 5 yards. Saw the official there working this football game, and so a tough break for Southern, a good break for the Volunteers. We've got 8 minutes even remaining in this quarter, which is the first. Tennessee's on top 3-0. Roberts takes a look at the Tennessee defense. Shaw is the lone back behind him, and they need 15 for a first down. They fire out in the flat to Gideon, and Gideon is knocked down after he crosses the midfield mark. Terry Fair made the stop. There is Gideon, an excellent receiver. Runs a beautiful route. Tennessee is going to have to really stay on their toes on this young man today. Back-to-back 100-yard games. First Southern Miss player to accomplish that. As we said at the top of the broadcast, he was a high school quarterback. There's Roberts' numbers, and he too is having a above-average year. Out in the flat, wide open, and it's going to be first down, it appears. They picked it up with a yard to spare. That's Terry Hardy on the receiving end, and the stop was made by Torrey Noel coming up from safety. But again, very impressive play calling for Southern Miss.
Terry Roberts just takes what the defense gives him. He doesn't try to force it downfield. He dumps it off to his big tight end, who makes the first down by a little extra effort there. I'm impressed with what Roberts is doing right now. He's not being impatient. He's taking what's going on out there with the defense and just dinking, dunking, throwing underneath.
Terry Hardy, by the way, weighs 265 pounds. Gets this one off out here across the 30. Flags go down. It'll be into Tennessee's 28-29 yard line vicinity. If it holds up, it's to Shaw out of the backfield, but a marker on the play.
That might be a face mask.
Shaw was kind of shaking his head there, so I'm not sure who it's going to be against. The referee will tell us shortly. Tennessee leading with a little over 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter, 3-0. Homecoming for the Vols. They have remaining on their schedule Arkansas at Arkansas, which will be a night game. And then they have the Kentucky Wildcats, Tim Couch and those folks.
Offense during the run, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down over again.
You heard it, holding. And Tennessee will wind it up here against Vanderbilt. Don't know if we can pick up the hold or not, but anyway, it did occur. Tennessee now looking at a team that's moving the football, hurting themselves a bit with penalties, but moving the football. Here's Roberts back to throw, being chased, got it away, a little short one, and it's complete to Gideon. He's down to the 30 and maybe the 29-yard line. Once again, Southern moving with that football. Harold Shaw coming out of the backfield. Tennessee's got a man down. Linebacker Raynoch Thompson is on the ground. Tennessee is not real deep at linebacker to begin with, so trainers are out checking over Raynoch Thompson. Also, the chains will be brought out to see what can, if this is a first down. Score given here that Michigan is leading Penn State by a score of 17-0. So Penn State is in all likelihood going to start tumbling down the poles if indeed that score stands up. They're still working over Raynoch Thompson. Apparently the injury came as he made the tackle, and we don't want to speculate on what the injury is right now, but obviously Raynoch's in some trouble. See, Condridge, if you can pick it up here. He really faked Leonard Little out of position that time, and Raynoch came up to make the stop, and Shaw, who's over 200 pounds, delivered a pretty good blow, and they're still working over Thompson. Southern Miss 4-game win streak in Conference USA, and he's up now and being helped off. There is Raynoch Thompson.
Looked like his leg buckled underneath him when he tried to make that play.
All right, coming up, the championship game and travel packages are available. Total Sports Travel has your ticket to the SEC championship game. Total Sports Travel offers 3 complete travel packages, including game tickets. Space is limited, so call today toll-free at 1-888-367-8781. Total Sports Travel takes more fans to more SEC sporting events than any other travel management company. Don't miss the opportunity to be there. Okay, this is the 7th play in this drive, and Roberts is back, got plenty of time, throws, complete to Gideon, who dances on the sidelines to the 10, almost the 10-yard line, stayed in bounds, and finally is stopped by Corey Gaines, but it picks up 19 yards as Southern Mississippi, the Golden Eagles, continue to move downfield on Tennessee's defense.
This is just a simple drop back pattern that he runs a post corner route, and good throw, good catch. Here's a good athletic ability right there, staying in bounds, getting extra yardage.
Roberts up to the line of scrimmage, one running back, that's Shaw, 2 men split on the left, 1 to the right. Shaw maybe changing his play at the line of scrimmage, gives it off outside, good running, touchdown by Shaw. Harold Shaw rams it into the end zone, 11-yard run, and ran over a couple of volunteers in doing so. Roberts, I think, checked off at the line of scrimmage, saw something. Shaw, a little bit winded and maybe had the breath knocked out of him for a second, but he did most of the knocking himself on that particular run.
He sure did. That was all effort right there. The hole was basically closed, and a good effort to get outside, and here's power. Just power, running over people, touchdown.
Ran over Corey Gaines, but Corey had one of his own men hit him as well in that particular play. So they will have the extra point attempt right now. It is up, and it is good. So Southern Mississippi has taken the lead. Tim Hardaway with the extra point. Hardaway's having a very good year as a field goal and extra point kicker for the Golden Eagles. So they are on top, and the crowd a little bit stunned here in Knoxville as Southern leads 7-3. Tennessee hoping for an impressive win today and a chance to move up in the polls, and you're always thinking about that alliance situation. Let's go down on the field to Missy Kane. Missy?
I've got Tim Irwin with me. He played back in the early 80s. Offensive lineman, also played All-Pro with the Vikings. Tim, unfortunately, they're on top right now, but how about the first series for the Balls and their offensive line? Did Peyton have enough protection?
Peyton had plenty of protection. It's obvious that they've been watching film and saw the good games Jamal Lewis had and are up to stop our run, which is leaving the short passing game open. I think Tennessee's going to be able to move the ball. Looks like we may have a hard time stopping them. Hopefully the defense will get stronger and things will come out okay.
You say you think the line's improved a lot since last year?
I think the line has gotten better week to week. The left side is very strong. The right side's young. I like Cozy Coleman, though. I think he's going to be a great one. He just needs some more time out there on the field.
Thanks to Tim Irwin. He's a lawyer in town, also an agent. Maybe somebody needs an agent around. Maybe Conridge, a former player, needs an agent for his broadcasting career, too. You never know. Back to you guys.
Tell you what, he was a great player and had a great pro career, primarily with the Vikings, and got that degree in the offseason, I think, Conridge.
Sure did, and went back to law school and finished all that up, and now he's representing players, and he'll do a great job.
Well, there's some down on the field now he can represent on both sides of the ball. Southern Miss leading Tennessee now. Putting the ball in play here. That's Brian Darden. And he's across the 30 out to about the 33-yard line. It's a 20-yard return by Brian Darden.
He got credit for 20, but he ran about 50. He ran all the way across the field.
Take a look at that touchdown
Here's
again.
a touchdown run, I tell you. The hole was pretty much shut down, and then all of a sudden the power comes in. And as you can see, the Tennessee did knock each other off of them, but it's still a great run.
8 plays, 65 yards to 314. 7 on the pass, 1 on the run. All right, here's Peyton giving off. It's a quick pop over the left side, and not a whole lot there. Flag goes down. You wonder in that area if it might be holding, but
yes.
We'll await the decision. That's probably going to be the case. Tennessee hurting themselves here. Very first play from scrimmage, they were in motion. Tennessee's pointing at Southern Miss, however, so we'll wait and see. Peyton up listening to the official. We've got 5 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Southern Miss has shockingly taken the lead, 7-3. I say shockingly because Tennessee's at home, favored by 19. Here's the ref.
Incidental face mask against the defense. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run, and replay, first down.
All right, you heard it. Incidental face mask. Look at that. The newest fashion statement. Fans bundled up pretty good here today. 44 degrees. Southern Miss 3 penalties for 20 yards thus far in this contest. Tennessee with 2 receivers at the bottom of the screen, but they run the football or attempt to.
That's a touchdown.
It looks like it. Nobody's going to catch Bryson on the delay. Well, they did. At an angle, I didn't think they could catch him, but they ran him down. What a play, Conrad. You'll have to describe that one.
You and I both thought that play was over. Continuous effort.
52 yards on the carry. We'll take a look at it again, but very, very strange play for Tennessee.
This looks like it stopped and the whistle's blown right here.
Not so.
But not so.
We thought he'd been nailed for a loss. He just kept churning.
Now, Speed Merchant, number 3, Deshaun Mallard, showed lots of speed right there.
Has got some speed.
He's
I don't
got
think there
some jets there.
10 guys around in the South that could have caught him on that. Apparently, there was some kind of an infraction at the end of it, so we're going to wait and see. Maybe not. The officials got together, discussed it, and then said play football. So Manning brings his team up. Derek Edmonds is in at fullback now for Tennessee. 2-back set, and obviously Peyton is going to check off as Southern Miss is jumping around all over the place on defense. He throws the fade pattern. Incomplete. Intended for Peerless Price, who had his hands on it, couldn't quite pull it in. It was a great idea and a great call.
That's one of those plays you got to make the play. This was a check off. Peyton saw man-to-man coverage, fade pattern, one-on-one, Peerless Price, little bump there. That's a catchable ball.
Manning is 6 of 10 for 58 yards, but as you saw there, that probably should have been complete. We're told that Raynoch Thompson's injury is a head injury, but he left, with some help, and obviously he's very conscious. Here's the kick outside as they try to sweep, and Jamal is run out of bounds by Brian Bell from outside linebacker position. But he gets it down to right at the 10-yard line. Tennessee driving and trailing 7-3 against the Golden Eagles from Hattiesburg. Chad Clifton there being helped off, and Jarvis Rito did not start because of a knee injury. So all of a sudden, Condridge, Tennessee could get very thin and offensive lineman here.
That's right. Last time Tennessee went to 5 wides, there was definitely room for the quarterback draw. We'll have to keep that in mind. In fact, it's open right here now.
He fires instead out in the corner, and fighting for yardage is Jermaine Copeland inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. So now
about a half a yard short.
It's decision time. It is 4th down for Tennessee.
Bob, with a quarterback that's 6'5", 222, I think your quarterback sneaked this one to make the first down.
Actually, probably should have been stopped about 2 yards shy, but Jermaine Copeland just made a great effort there to get it that close. So it is now 4th down, less than a yard to go, inches perhaps, for a first down, and Tennessee is going to go for it, trailing 7-3, and they've got it and then some. It appears Jamal Lewis, 220 plus, goes right behind his center and left guard, and it looks like he's got it. Well, you either sneak or you go to somebody with a lot of power.
Well, when you got confidence in your running game, you go ahead and run it like with the big man. Jamal is a load. He's 222, and he heads upfield. He's a young freshman that enjoys playing the game.
Followed the fullback that time, actually kind of looked to the right, and then followed his fullback slightly to the left. Here's the handoff to Bryson. Not much. Second down and goal for the Tennessee Volunteers, trailing 7-3 with 3:04 remaining in the first quarter of play. Homecoming. There's the Southern staff signaling in the defensive plan here. 2-yard line. What do you call Condridge? Quarterback Condridge?
No, I think they've got a good enough running game. They can pound this one. They've got to make a statement here. They can't. They've got to show the Southern Miss defense that they can run the ball and run it with authority. And I'm wrong. They throw a play-action pass.
Well, they might. Hey, he threw it away.
That was a good play by Peyton. When it's not there, throw it away.
Edmonds was at fullback that time with Lewis at tailback. We thought they might try to pound it. Mark Levine has come in. And Tennessee substitutes some more people. We're going to try to get some word on Chad Clifton. He's out of there with an injury. Rito did not start. Cozy Coleman started in his place. But I tell you what, Cozy Coleman is going to be a big-time football player.
He sure is.
Not a great drop-off right there, and that's no knock on Jarvis. He's having a good year, but Coleman is just a fine-looking prospect. There are Tennessee's numbers. Third down conversion, 2 of 4. Boy, do they need one right here, and Peyton is going to try to get it through the air, and it's incomplete. Tremendous pressure on him. Knocked down, as a matter of fact, just as he turned the ball loose. Looked like Adilas Thomas was in there to knock him down. Alexander also involved in the play, and Tennessee is going to have to kick, much to the dismay of some of the fans.
Hey, this Southern Miss team has come in here, and they are not backing down. They are playing very tough, and Tennessee's got their work cut out for them, I think.
Well, they've played at Alabama. They've played at Florida. In fact, they only have 4 home games. So most of their games are on the road, Condridge, and big hostile crowds do not intimidate them. Ball sets it and hits it, and Tennessee pulls to within 1. It is a 7-6 ball game. 19 yards on that one. Tennessee fans trying to find some reason to cheer right now. They're trailing 7-6. They have been moving the football, but Condridge inside the 20, they're bogging down.
It's been bogged down for two series. They moved the ball well down to the 20, been inside twice, and come away with field goals. That's not good. It's a plus for Southern Mississippi's defense, but it's not a good thing for the Tennessee offense. They'll have to improve on that.
I think we're going to take another look at the strange sort of play where Bryson, it seemed, had been tackled but broke out of there and finally got downfield and got run out of bounds. There's Peyton talking with his offensive lineman. Teague and Riley standing by him. Okay, let's take a look at that play. First of all, it seemed like that he had been stopped. Right about there. You would have thought the whistle had blown, but Southern wasn't giving up. They kept trying to bring him down. Then he breaks away, and it looks like he's gone for sure. But a young man, a sophomore named Deshaun Mallard, comes sailing out of nowhere. You'll see him right there.
Oh, he closed some ground.
He did. Tennessee unable to get anything out of it, though, other than a field goal. So it is a 7-6 ball game with 2:27 remaining in the first quarter of play. Jeff Hall once again kicks it almost straight up in the air. by design. A fair catch is called for by Shaw, the tailback, and crowd a little bit uneasy about that kickoff. 2 in a row that way. We're assuming those are planned. They certainly seem to be. Roberts now is 6 out of 7 for 69 yards at quarterback. Man, that does not speak well for the Tennessee defense. Now, some of those have been almost like running plays. There are his numbers right now, rather impressive to say the least. Lines up with only Shaw behind him. He's going to throw all the way, and he completes it to Gideon. And he is run out of bounds right at the 45-yard line. Terry Fair chased him out 16 yards on the play by Sherrard Gideon. Big-time receiver. His numbers on the year.
This is just looking like pitch and catch. It's not a whole lot of pressure on the quarterback, Roberts, and he's just having all the time in the world to throw.
I tell you what he is doing. He is throwing so quick that Tennessee can't get any pressure. 1, 2, 3 drop, and there you go, but this time batted down. 3-step drop and firing, and there's not much you can do in the way of a rush, so you sort of have to play a little bit of a soft zone, I guess, Condridge, and see what you can do that way.
Well, last possession, we were in man coverage, Tennessee was, and luckily the defensive line got a little pressure, got their arms up, but
Billy Ratliff, I think, knocked it down. Send a man in motion, come out of the gun, give it off quickly. Tennessee ready for this one. They were ready for Harold Shaw that time. Earlier, that play picked up some pretty good yardage. Leonard Little said, not this time.
When you get a different offense coming in with different types of schemes, it takes a series or two to adjust, and the Tennessee defense is probably starting to do that now because, as you said before, this is the second time that play has been run, and they're probably trying to go through some of their plays and starting to repeat a little bit, which means that's a plus for the Tennessee defense.
He's out of the shotgun. See the score, Tennessee trailing. Roberts firing out in the flat. Yes, he caught it right at the out-of-bounds marker. It is Sherrard Gideon again. He's hurt, though. That's a terrible blow for the young man, but it's also a terrible blow for Southern Miss if he cannot return. He is their offense right now, he and Roberts. Some Shaw, but primarily it's passing to Gideon. He lines up on the left at one time. He lines up on the right side another time, and he's in motion at times. Right now he's hurting, Condridge.
Well, that looked like maybe he fell on the ball. Hopefully that's all it is the air. That from his motions looked like he got the wind knocked out of him. But he made a crucial mistake by not getting far enough for the first down on third down play. It makes no sense to run an 8-yard pattern when you need 10 yards. You have to get past the first down markers. He ran a good pattern, made a good catch, but he's just short.
We'll see him curl back here.
It's a good throw, good catch. Looks like he falls on the ball.
He's got 4 receptions for 49 yards. I think the breath has been knocked out of him at that point, and he should be okay. It looks like there's Al Wilson, number 27. Al is compassionate when the play is not in motion. When it is, he is a fierce linebacker who is having a fantastic season.
Sure is.
There is Gideon coming off, but he doesn't seem to be limping, and I think he's probably after a few seconds will be back. Trainer is Jim Gillespie, who is with him there.
They're going for it.
All right, this is a huge play. It's 4th down and a solid one for Southern. They're just across midfield in Tennessee territory. The ball defense trying to dig in. This could be a turnaround play for either one of them in the first half. A minute to go.
Got him to jump.
Tennessee jumped, and that's the easy way to do it. Darwin Walker, I believe, is the guilty party. That may have been the plan all along,
yes.
Rather than punting the ball, just line up and see. If they could get Tennessee to jump offside, if they'd been penalized 5, the clock had run down, so what? It doesn't mean anything at that point on the field. And there you see it. Contact was made. The snap. Center wisely snapped the ball. That assured the penalty. That assured the first down. And another gray hair or two for Phillip.
Yes.
First downs. They're even there on the scoreboard. They're not even. Wide open. Got a step and a half on Tennessee's defender and pulls it down for a huge Southern Mississippi play. Eddie Shaw, a wide receiver. We've got Harold Shaw at tailback, Eddie Shaw at wide receiver. Dwayne Goodrich was the man who made the stop. There is a flag back here near midfield. 28 yards on that play. Goodrich was beaten. Did recover to save the touchdown. The official has come back here, one of them, to stand by the flag on the 48-yard line of Southern. There's Eddie Shaw's numbers for the day, or for the year. Very impressive. Very good back. We saw him, Condrich, 2 years ago. He's a senior now, and he's been racking up some impressive numbers this year.
Yes, he has.
Tennessee fans are showing some concern. Right there on the sidelines, that fan would like to perhaps step in and play a little defense himself right now.
Well, there's reason for concern because the offense of Southern Mississippi is really executing perfectly, and moving the ball up and down the field. They haven't had any mistakes or made any stupid penalties or anything like that, so they're just controlling the football.
Let's go down on the field while we have a timeout and check in with Missy.
Hey guys, I have one of Connor's old buddies, old teammates, Ron McCartney, 75 captain, linebacker, played for the Falcons too. Ron, it looks like the Vols, they played strong last week on defense. They may need you to suit up today. They looked a little shaky coming out the first time.
Well, I've got my old helmet on that Conrad used to wear when he played, but I don't think I'm even near the size or the speed or agility these guys are. I tell you what, Southern Miss is a very impressive team. Tennessee better get their heads straightened out and into the game mentally, or they're in for a long afternoon.
How about Leonard playing linebacker? You think that's a good move?
Oh, yeah, I think Leonard needs to be more at defensive end, especially on pass downs, because nobody can even come close to the quickness and speed off the corner rushing the passer that he has.
All right, thanks so much. Ron McCartney, back up to you guys.
All right. Huge play coming up here. Let's check it out. It's first down and 6. Tennessee's defense has been bending and bending and has broken a couple of times. They need a big play right here. Southern leading 7-6. Last seconds of the first quarter of play at Neyland Stadium. Here's the handoff to Shaw, trying to dance outside along the line of scrimmage and knocked down after a yard or so. And that's about it. Corey Gaines coming up from safety. Al Wilson was also in on the play defensively for the Volunteers. It'll be second down and 5 to go. Second and goal. 5 for the touchdown. Southern Mississippi with the football. Tennessee now. See if we get a play off here before the end of the quarter. We're down to 5 seconds. 3 seconds. And he did get the play off. Maybe not. The officials are waving it off. Stop the whole game. It'll be to Tennessee's advantage if he did get it off, but I believe not. Leonard Little breaking things up that time. We're ready to go to the second quarter of play, and the scoreboard is showing third down, so perhaps the play did count. Nope. Second down coming up. Clock expired before the snap, so a break for Southern. That play, Tennessee did a nice job defensively, but it will go for aught. There you see, 7-6, Southern leading. Tennessee has recruited well at defensive linemen. Philip Fulmer talks about that.
Well, the development of depth starts with recruiting, and we've made a very special effort to recruit particularly players that can play defensive end and in the defensive line for us, and it has paid great dividends. It's allowed us to move Leonard back and forth from linebacker to defensive end, it's also allowed us guys to play 35 to 40 plays in the game and play at full speed rather than playing 60 and 70. And the last one, 20, they can't play full speed. So it's paid a great dividends for us.
Well, Coach Philip Fulmer talking about his recruitment of defensive players, and they have done an excellent job in that area in the past few years. And right now, let's see if that pays off, because they're looking at a situation where they could fall further behind right here, either by touchdown or field goal. Southern looking at a 2nd and 5 or 2nd and goal situation. Southern 12 runs for 64 yards. Passing, they have thrown for 122. Correction, Southern 12 yards, Tennessee 64. Passing, Southern 122 and Tennessee 62. So in total offense, Southern's got 134, Tennessee 126. You would not figure Southern to be leading passing at this stage in the ball game. The first play of the second quarter. Roberts at quarterback. Shaw is behind him. Roberts getting a lot of noise at that end of the field. Tennessee has cut him off and cut him down. Vols played that one beautifully. Ellis was in there. Big Sean Ellis. Also Dwayne Goodrich. And also Leonard Little. So the crowd has something to cheer about right here. First play of the second quarter. It is a 7-6 ball game. Take a look.
This is just a little run to the outside, and there's no place to go. I think Harold Shaw had visions of turning the corner and reversing his field, but that was not a good decision. And just take the loss and line up the next play.
8th play of this drive, so they're killing a lot of clock. Roberts back to throw. It's pass all the way. Incomplete. Had his man there. Kevin Hurd.
Wide open.
Was right there and open. Tennessee blew an assignment somewhere because he was just too open.
Dodged the bullet there. That is, wow. That's a catchable ball. Should have been caught. And it probably could have scored.
Hardaway will come in to attempt the field goal. The ball will be spotted on the 19, making it a 29-yard attempt. It's down, it's up, it's on the way, got plenty of distance, and it is good. And so Southern adds to their lead. It is now 12. Southern leading this ball game. I tell you what, Southern leading 10-6, I'm sorry. I tell you what, this is a real stunner right now, and the crowd is reacting thusly. Conrad, you can hear a pin drop in
They
here.
sure are. The Tennessee offense needs to do something here to get this crowd back in the game. They need to take control and get down to the 20 and put the ball in. They've gone from 20 to 20 twice with good consistency, but once it's gotten to the 20-yard line, it's bogged down, and that just has got to cease. They've got to put the ball in the end zone.
Tennessee with 2 field goals to account for their 6. Southern with a touchdown, a run by Shaw after a nice bit of passing downfield to set it up. Then the field goal here by Hardaway, making it a 10-6 ball game with 14:04 remaining in the first half of play. And the sideline of Tennessee right now, no doubt a little bit disturbed. Coach Philip Fulmer. Tennessee has got so much riding on the remaining football games. Now, I know this is a non-conference game and still would not have any effect on their playing for the championship, but we're talking alliance, we're talking moving up in the polls, we're talking national prestige, and we're talking about a team that was a 19-point favorite coming into this ball game. So when you're a 19-point favorite and you lose, you are going to take one whale of a tumble in the polls. But of course, Tennessee has not lost this ball game. They have got a world of time. They have got to get their act together, though. They're not playing well, while on the other side, Southern Miss is playing lights-out football right now, doing what they have to do to stay in this one. Leading at 10-6. Volunteers will take it in pretty good shape right here across the 30 out to almost the 35-yard line. Darden. You can now get a copy of the greatest plays in Vol football history. $19.99 plus $4 for shipping and handling. There's the address on your screen. Vol Network Video. Post Office Box 11125, Knoxville, Tennessee 37939. Condridge Holloway will be featured in some of those plays. You can put money on that. Here's a handoff in the middle. They tried Jamal.
Fumble. That's a fumble.
Let's see if it's a dead ball. If the referee is signaling now that it is Southern Mississippi's football. And it was DeQuincy Scott, a freshman nose tackle, who came up with a football. Huge turnover for Tennessee.
This looks like just a case of ripping the ball out. Just took it right away. Got to cover that ball up when you're in traffic.
Big number 78, Scott was the man who did it.
Just ripped it right out.
Takes it right out of Jamal's hands. And that's freshman against freshman. Okay, Southern Miss comes out leading in this football game by a score of 10-6 and looking for more. Roberts in the flat, incomplete. Had his man open out there, Shaw, but he couldn't hang on. Led him just a little bit too far. That's Torrey Noel talking to him, number 9. All right, the Southern Miss team now looks at a second down and 10 situation. After the turnover, Southern in striking distance again. Tennessee trailing with only a couple of field goals, and we've got 13:41 remaining in the first half of play. Wherever you're watching this game, we're happy to have you with us. Roberts, a long count. Shaw still fighting for yardage. It gets pretty close to the 20. Helmets fly, but Al Wilson made the stop, and it appears to be Al Wilson's helmet. Delay, Condridge.
Just a little draw play. Great effort. As you said, Al Wilson was the guy with his helmet came off, but he's still on the play. You can see he's right there in the middle of the pile.
Fred White. Initially did it. That last pile up. It's Fred White going off the field. He couldn't bring him down, and Fred took a real joke. But Condridge Shaw is one of the most punishing runners I've seen this year.
He's really punishing today. He's not afraid of contact. He's initiating the contact, actually.
There's Al Wilson, who lost his helmet. He's regained the helmet. That's the 9th first down, by the way, for Southern. Here they throw the delay pass, and it's good down to the 15-yard line. Eddie Shaw, the wide receiver. Jonathan Brown made the stop. Haven't called Jonathan's name much so far in this ball game, but again, I point out that Roberts is throwing off a 3-step drop, and it's very difficult to get to him. This is where you put the pressure on the linebackers in the secondary, Condridge, to make the play.
Well, that's true. They're getting rid of the ball on time and very quickly. They're throwing the underneath routes. That was just a little quick screen there, delay, and they're doing a good job of executing their offense right now.
You see crowd sort of stunned here. Roberts back looking, throws in the flat once again. Tennessee closing on it rather quickly. He still makes some extra yardage out of it. Not enough for a first, but they close down on him. Harold Shaw, there's Torrey Noel, and there's Wilson getting up off the bottom, the primary tackler. And Shaw is going to get up a little bit slowly. Harold Shaw, but he's okay and is staying in the ball game.
That was a well-orchestrated pick play there. If you'll take a look, the 2 wide receivers come inside as if they're running post patterns. They throw a ball to the flat, and there's 2 guys that are just basically blocking the running way of a defender. So it's not a pick play if they don't call it, though. So it was a good, well-executed play.
Huge play for both teams. 3rd down and 2. Roberts is going to go through the air for it. He goes to the corner of the end zone, incomplete. Corey Gaines is back there defending along with Goodrich, and it is Tamara Nolan, the intended receiver, who is a freshman tight end. So they'll go once again to Hardaway and try to make it a 13-6 ball game. Fortunately, we have practically no wind right now, so it is not as uncomfortable as the temperature might indicate in the low 40s here, but no wind at all. It'll be a 30-yard effort. The ball is placed down. It's on the way, and it is good. And Southern now leads by a score of 13-6. And the crowd is almost totally silent here at Neyland. A few folks over there waving some flags in the Southern Mississippi section. They brought a pretty good gathering here today. There's Coach Bowers, who's had troublesome year. His daughter was killed in a car accident early in the season. 17-year-old daughter on her way home from a high school football game. And he has had to try to live through that terrible tragedy, he and his wife and their other child. But he has also said that having football has helped him, perhaps, and his wife probably has had it tougher than he has, because at least he had the job to focus on every day. And of course he thinks about that as he passes that spot twice a day where that horrible tragedy occurred. But he's a fine coach. He played at Southern Miss. He was a quarterback, and after numerous stops made his way back home and is now the head coach of the Golden Eagles. Philip Fulmer, of course, played at Tennessee. All right, the Volunteers now will receive the kick, and I don't know, Condridge, if you could say a lifeless team or not. They seem to be focused and have had good practices all week. They know what's at stake in this football game, and yet they're not getting the job done right now, defensively especially.
They need a spark, and I would imagine they're kind of waiting for Peyton to give it to them. But everybody on the offensive side has got to step up the plate, start playing. It's time to do it right now.
That's Levine. Ball gets away, bounces, and Tennessee's going to be in terrible field position inside their own 5-yard line. Let's go down to Missy Kane.
That's a little bit of an injury update. Right now, found out that Rainick Thompson went out earlier, talked to Yeomans, Dr. Yeomans. He's had a nose fracture, a broken bone, slight fracture earlier. That's giving him some problems right now. Chad Clifton also went out. Dr. Yeomans says basically he just has a stinger in his shoulder. A couple other guys look like just have been knocked up a little bit. Fred White sitting on the bench being evaluated by the trainer. Billy Radcliffe and also Tom Wendell. Tell you what, behind the bench over there, it's pretty quiet. The guys are, I think, a little shell-shocked. Back to you guys.
Well, they need to start making some noise. There's a pass complete for a short game. Manning is now 8 out of 14 and a little over 60 yards. Roberts is 11 of 16 for 129 yards in this ball game. Marcus Nash picking up some yardage for Tennessee, but 4 yards shy of a first, so it becomes 2nd down and 4. Southern Miss leading 13-6 over a stunned crowd here in Knoxville. Homecoming. Hand off to Jamal, and Jamal gets the first down and then some, a couple of yards beyond. So Tennessee going to power football to pick up the first down. And Phoenix from free safety, Perry Phoenix, made the stop for Southern Mississippi. Southern Miss has games remaining against Houston and Memphis. Tennessee against Arkansas, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt.
Nothing like a 94-yard drive to perk your offense up and get you going.
Here's Peyton back looking and firing, and it is it caught? Yes. Marcus Nash. Quite frankly, Condridge, Peyton probably needs a pretty good game here. I think there's only one more game before the final Heisman vote will be counted.
Knowing Peyton the way I do, he's more concerned with getting this team on the winning track, and if the Heisman comes, it comes, but he's not a guy that's trying to win it. I mean, he's focused, and he wants to do what he can for this team to help them win, but that's secondary on his mind.
Stumbling that time going into the line of scrimmage. Tennessee tailback Lewis, and nothing much there. Word on Fred White is he has a slight shoulder injury, probably a stinger, and he is expected to return to action. Jamal just kind of stumbled into the line of scrimmage, and so it becomes a 2nd down situation. About 11 yards to go for a first. Actually lost a little bit of ground that time. And Manning may find himself, he and Cutcliffe, in a passing situation right here. He's got, although only 2 wideouts, 2 backs behind him, and he fakes the handoff, throws it out in the flat. Nice call, picking up some yardage that time. Sean Bryson coming out from fullback to take the swing pass and bring it up to the 31 yard line. People trying to stay warm here. As I said, it's in the low 40s, but the wind has not picked up very much, so it's still a damp cold because we've had some rain in the area. Some rain last night and again this morning. Field, though, is in excellent shape. Other than Jamal's slip there, that's about it. Tennessee on third down conversions, and they're facing one right here. Third down and about 6 yards to go. Manning got real pressure, gets out of that first wave, gets his pass off. It is complete, and it looks like it's about a yard beyond the first down marker to Benji Schuler, but there is a flag down, and with all that running around, you worry about holding right there if you're Tennessee, I would think. Condridge?
Yes, you do, and either that or a lineman downfield, so it's one or the other. I would think it might be a lineman downfield.
Surtain is pointing toward Tennessee, and it looks like that's the way the penalty will go. And again, they have hurt themselves with penalties. Tennessee not playing real smart football at the moment.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat third down.
All right, they do get one more shot. Here he is rolling out, and somebody turned loose and went on downfield at this point. And it would have been a first down by a yard. Nice job by Manning to get the pass away that time under a lot of pressure. Now he is looking at a third down and 11 situation with 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Vols trailing. Here you see the penalties. Here is Payton with time, throwing. Got Copeland, got to get outside, get the first down, and a lot more to midfield. Terrific play, terrific call, terrific move by Copeland after he caught the football. 24 yards on the play. Pollard, outside linebacker. Latrell Pollard made the stop for Southern Miss and saved the touchdown.
This is just an instance where Payton goes underneath when he knows they're in zone, goes underneath. Jermaine Copeland makes a good move there and picks up the first down. That's another way of Payton just being patient, not trying to go for it all because they're in zone. Went underneath and let his players play. Jermaine Copeland made a good play.
There you see his receptions for today and his yardage. Good day for Jermaine. And they fire complete out to around the Southern Miss 45-yard line. Marcus Nash curls out there and gets the reception. Not much after he caught him, but a good catch by Marcus. Safeties came up to make the stop, led by Phoenix. Coach Phil Fulmer, his staff looking on. No doubt in the press box, David Cutcliffe, who calls the offense for Tennessee, is trying to figure out a way to get this ball in the end zone before halftime here. We've still got plenty of time, 7:54 in the first half, but Tennessee's offense has been rather sluggish. Unable to get in the end zone, only a couple of field goals. This time, good second effort by Jamal. Gets the ball down across the 40 for another first down as the chains are waved downfield. Ty Trahan made the stop. He is an outside linebacker, number 2 linebacker on the left side for Southern. They're constantly bringing some people in, so they have enough depth to make it pretty interesting here.
Right, this was just a little trap play, and actually the trap beat the blitz. They were blitzing from the outside, and the ball was hit up inside, a quick hitter, and the blitz guy overran it.
First downs, Tennessee trailing in that department as they are on the scoreboard. Payton with time and got a man open. Out of bounds. Maybe the crowd wanted a flag there. Jermaine Copeland was going out of bounds. He was shoved 15 yards, but apparently they think the defender could not pull up. Phoenix, free safety. Big play, though, for Tennessee.
This is just a drop back, a little corner pattern through the zone. Great catch. Good decision. And that could have been called. But
that probably should have been called. You have to think of it after looking at it on the rerun. He's out of bounds and stopped. And it wasn't one of those punishing type hits, though. Just a push. Here's Payton on the delay. faking it to Jamal, throws it out in the flat. Ball goes out of bounds. They rule it incomplete. He did not have possession. That's Bryson. Sean coming out of the backfield from fullback on the receiving end. 7 minutes, 5 seconds. Clock stopped remaining in the first half. Tennessee with no touchdowns. A couple of Jeff Hall field goals. Manning's numbers, 13 of 20. That's actually pretty impressive right there. 130 yards. He's beginning to add up, but he needs to get the ball in the end zone. This is the 10th play in a time-consuming drive right here for the Vols. No running backs. All 5 wideouts there. Here's Manning. Gonna have to throw quickly. He does. Incomplete, a little bit behind the intended receiver.
Came with the blitz.
Cedric Wilson, the freshman. Pizza on a cold day. Not bad, I guess, huh? All right, Tennessee now looking at another one of those giant downs. This one is 3rd and 10. What do you call right here? You got to go downfield with it, or try some sort of delay or screen, I guess.
Well, the last time this situation arose, Tennessee went underneath to Jermaine Copeland and caught a little pass for 4 or 5 yards and ran for the additional yardage. So here comes the blitz.
He might be the man I'd look for in this situation.
That might be if it's not too far. Oh!
Off the fingertips of Wilson and incomplete. Take a look at it again, and probably should have been caught, although those are tough catches. Fading into the end zone. The rover, Jamal Alexander, was with him.
This is just a corner pattern, and ooh. That's one of those that's...
It would have been a good catch, but it's
catch.
probably a catch that Cedric Wilson will make the next time. 43-yard attempt by Jeff Hall. His longest has been 47 this year. The ball is set down. The kick is on the way. Jeff has got the distance, but it's off to the right and no good. So a long drive by Tennessee comes up totally empty this time, and with 6:50 remaining in the first half, the Vols are trailing 13-6. And some concern is showing in the crowd, and some concern, a lot of it, I think, on the sidelines. Tennessee not untracked offensively at all, and having some problems on the defense as well. But you drive down like that, Condridge, you got to come away with points at home against a team that you're heavily favored to beat.
You got to do it. I mean, the penalties, inconsistency on execution has been a problem so far. And I just think the Tennessee offense needs to regroup. They need to get together on the sideline over there and get their minds focused on what they need to do. Southern Mississippi is trying to take away the deep ball. They're not giving them an opportunity to throw deep. So you just have to throw underneath, be patient, and move the ball down the field.
Take advantage of the big freshman running back. Southern Miss breaks away from the sidelines where they'd been huddled up with the head coach, Bauer, and go right straight to the line of scrimmage. Try to catch Tennessee in some defense that's to their liking here. It's a delay, and not much doing. Tennessee played that one very well. Leonard Little played that one extremely well, as a matter of fact. That's Kelby Nance, who's the number 3 tailback, carrying the ball. Crowd just heard the score of Michigan and Penn State halftime. Michigan leading 24-0 in a Big Ten showdown with the smell of roses around that one. Here's Roberts throwing long, got a man wide open in the middle of the field. He's into Tennessee territory to the 45-yard line. That was Pinkston, Todd Pinkston, who was the receiver. It's 29 yards, and Tennessee once again giving up a chunk of yardage. Look at him, nobody near him, Condridge.
This is a pass play into a two coverage, cover 2 with 2 guys on top, and the vulnerable spot in that coverage is the middle of the field. And if you get time to throw it, you can always get somebody down the middle of the field without being covered.
Ball at the 45-yard line of Tennessee. Southern Miss, first down and 10 to go, and leading in this ball game. They give it to Shaw. He comes outside his right tackle, picks up 5 yards before they knock him down. That's not Shaw, that's Nance, the reserve tailback, Kelby Nance. There he is, number 32. a very good solid runner. We were told coming in that Southern was deep with Harold Shaw, Eric Booth, Kelby Nance, Tyrone Boulware, all in there who can carry the ball from the tailback position. Roberts looking at a 2nd and 5. Tennessee trying to figure out defensively how to stop the Golden Eagles. Ball corners are all the way up on the line of scrimmage. It looked like Southern may have moved, and this is going to be a dead play right here. Waved off and will be brought back. That was Gideon downfield, who was shaken up earlier. Remember when he fell on the football, had the breath knocked out.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Well, you're right, Condridge. They did jump. They flinched down there, and it cost them a big gain. There you see Southern and Tennessee's ratio on the run and pass fairly even. Southern now looking at a 2nd down and 10 situation. Ball at the 45. Got 2 backs in, 2 receivers at the top of the screen, 1 at the bottom. Now they set into the shotgun with another man in motion. Here is Roberts being tracked down. Flags go down. Looks like it might be against Southern. Tennessee's also got a man hurt.
It's Leonard Little down.
Leonard Little is on the ground and hurting. Getting up now, but favoring, I think, his left shoulder or left arm. Buck Buxton made the play. There's Little going down right there. Here's Buxton coming in for the stop. Big number 97 with Ratliff also in the picture. Al Wilson saying it's against Southern and we'll take it.
Should be a holding penalty.
5 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in a strange first half in the Tennessee.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
5th penalty, 35 yards against Southern. Strange in that Tennessee should be leading in this football game, heavily favored at home, although a good Southern team, but the Vols ranked number 8 in the nation. Got the news when Georgia beat Florida that they could go to the SEC championship game simply by winning out. Of course, this is not a conference game, but you lose one like this, you take a big tumble in the ratings. Shotgun again for Southern. Here is a rush. Roberts gets out of there and completes his pass rather handily downfield to Sherrard Gideon once again, who is having an absolute field day against Tennessee. Play covered 17.
It's just simple drop back pattern with a little out route inside, little slant to the sidelines, and Roberts is very patient, very poised, and just dropping back and completing passes.
Don't think I'd like to be in the Tennessee dressing room at halftime. Ball is on the 40. It's still shy of a first. Here's a quick pass in the flat. There's your 1st down and more. Once again with ease, Hingston cutting across the field, picks up the 1st down, and the chains go downfield again. Tennessee trailing 13-6, only a couple of field goals to account for all of their play here in the first half. Southern driving again with the football, and they're doing it primarily through the air. Here is Roberts, Lee Roberts. He's 14 of 19. 14 out of 19, almost 200, 185 yards. This one is off the mark just a bit. They wave up. This may be on Tennessee. We'll see. The flag goes down. Tennessee.
I think this might be offense. This might be offensive pass interference.
Tennessee defender was really upset. Sherrard Gideon is not complaining too much, and it could be pushing off. There's Terry Fair.
Pass interference on the offense. 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage and repeat 1st down.
Big break, Condridge, big break.
Yes, it is. Now Tennessee defense has to take advantage of it. That's a good job of defense by trying to cut off and go to the sideline. That was.
Yeah, he prevented a Terry Fair interception.
Yes.
What happened there? Terry would have pulled it in had he not got the shot in the back. So it was a good call, and it came at a good time for Tennessee. First down now at 25 yards to go. There are Lee Roberts' numbers on the day. 14 out of 19, 185. No interceptions. He's throwing that quick step, though, a 3-step drop, and it's very, very tough to get any pressure on him, although he's gone out of the shotgun a few times when Tennessee was still not able to get to him. There's Terry Fair, who's one of the better cornerbacks in America and will no doubt be a Sunday player one of these days. About time Terry returned to punt. He hasn't done that in a while, and I know he very much like to. Young man from Arizona who found his way to Tennessee. There you see the story. 4:31 to go in the first half. 13-6. Southern out of the shotgun. Roberts fires complete to his tailback. Shaw, who fumbled it. It's picked up by Tennessee. And here is rumbling downfield with it for the Tennessee Volunteers is Darwin Walker. Big number 58, Darwin Walker. We'll take a look at the replay on that and see who took it loose. But Patrick wrong one up at a more perfect time than that one.
A bigger play couldn't have come at a better time. I tell you, things were looking awful gloom, and all of a sudden a turnover, and now the Tennessee offense has to take advantage of it.
Ball's loose. There's Walker, who bench presses over 500 pounds. Jeff Coleman, it appeared, caused the fumble. Jeff Coleman hit him and caused the fumble. Southern Miss jumping around all over the place now. Payton throws out in the flat, short pass to Copeland and let him do some work here. And Jermaine takes it across the 35 to the 34 of Southern. Tell you what, he does great work after the catch. He had a key first down earlier, as Conridge pointed out, after a catch like that, and they may look more and more at him. Jamal Alexander, the Rover, made the stop. 7 catches now for 87 yards for Jermaine Copeland. So he's done his job.
Going with a hurry-up offense. That might get them back more focused than what they're doing. If you just keep going and get a hurry-up offense, and again, it doesn't give Southern Miss a chance to do situational defenses. They can't substitute as much. They're trying to, but they don't know what the formations are, and it'll cut that down a little bit. And I think it'll get the Tennessee offense back into the game, get them rolling a little bit.
First down play right there, so they are moving the chains at the moment, but they've been doing that all day, except when they get in scoring range. Now here's Payton with plenty of time, firing, got his man, and this one's inside the 20-yard line. Jermaine Copeland once again, and Copeland is dragged down, but not until he picks up very close to a first down. It is first.
They're going to measure.
Well, I think he's got it. So if it proves otherwise, then they've made a mistake, Conridge.
Well,
I look at that.
I think Southern Mississippi wanted that because they needed a little time to regroup. Tennessee has gone with a hurry-up offense, and it's kind of been very successful for them so far, and it's not been very good for the Southern Miss defense.
So. Copeland almost 100 yards, 8 receptions, 99. Longest has been 24, but he has been magnificent here in the first half. Chains all the way down the field. It was enough for a first down. So the ball is spotted, and Tennessee is ready to play with the ball at the 17-yard line. First down. Tennessee trailing 13-6, needing desperately to get into the end zone here and get some kind of spark of an offense
Here
going.
comes the blitz.
They pick it up real well, and he completes his pass to the 9-yard line. Once again, Jermaine Copeland. It's just pitch and catch. Manning and Copeland right now. Manning is hurrying up the offense here, trying to get a play into the huddle from the sidelines. They're staying away from Surtain. They're going to Alexander, which is
A smart move.
Didn't take a whole lot of intelligence because Surtain is just absolutely great. Here's Manning. Going to keep it. And did not apparently get in. Very, very close. Maybe the half-yard line. I don't think it was a called play.
No, that wasn't a called play, but when the 5 wides come about, you can guarantee that's going to happen later in the game because the quarterback draw is there. And now they should just pound this ball in and kick the extra point and hold them, maybe get it back one more time before the half.
He looks, then decides to keep it. He sees the hole open up. Looked to me like he was in, but apparently the knee was down.
Now he's out.
Touchdown, Tennessee. Peyton Manning is 6'5" and stronger, perhaps, than he looks. He almost looks a little skinny from upstairs, but he's not. He's a solid 225 pounds, and he's a very strong guy.
And has the body type to put on another 30 pounds, which he'll probably need at the next step.
Jeff Hall. Scott puts it down. Hall kicks it through, and Tennessee's got their first touchdown, and they have tied this football game 13-13. Happy fan right there. But Southern still has some time to move here, and they've got 2 minutes and 10 seconds in which to work. So it's up to the ball defense here to close it down.
Bob, what do you think about the kickoff this time? You think we'll see the poocher or the long one?
If the crowd has anything to do with it, we will not see a pooch.
We will not see the floater. We'll see one hopefully driven in the end zone.
They voiced their displeasure on that last one. Defensive tackle Billy Ratliff has a knee injury. Linebacker Leonard Little a shoulder. And we are not sure whether they will be back or not. The crowd, 107,073. That's a terrific crowd for a non-conference late in the year ball game. That is unbelievable. That's the kind of crowd you'd expect if, say, Notre Dame was coming in.
Right, but the enthusiasm around here after what happened with Georgia and Florida is just, it's like it's rejuvenated a lot of fans. It's like the opening of the season. It's starting all over.
Tell you what, if they don't pull this one out and win it, it's going to be somewhat down after this ball game, though.
A lot of football left.
Yep. And some serious talks at halftime. Jeff Hall this time puts it down to an end of the checkerboard. They're going to come out of there with it and cut to the 20. Probably not a good decision. Punishing blow by several of the Tennessee Volunteers.
Well,
flag is up here around the 40-yard line.
All it took was a long kickoff to get the fans back into it.
Sean Johnson was the primary hit man on that one. 6 plays, 41 yards, took a little over 2 minutes. Manning on the 1-yard run to cap it. Copeland had 4 receptions in that drive. Now watch Sean Johnson, who's a linebacker. Ooh.
After the play was over, personal foul by the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
A personal foul against Southern Miss after the play was over. It cost them 15 yards and backs them up. They've had 7 penalties now for 60 yards. Tennessee has made some mistakes in that department as well. Ball is on the 10-yard line with 2 minutes exactly to go in the first half. Tennessee's defense now should be fired up, and Shaw is still drifting outside, and they twisting down after a gain of maybe 3. Walker is the primary tackler on that one, number 58, Darwin Walker, defensive tackle for the Volunteers. The clock stops at 1:49 remaining in the first half of play. Tennessee called the timeout, which is their first. Southern's got all of theirs remaining. 1:49 to go in the first half of play. Homecoming in Knoxville. Over 107,000 watching here in Neyland Stadium. On kind of a cold day, the lights were on right from the beginning. No punts by either team.
That's an amazing feat.
You would think with a score 13-13 that wouldn't be the case. Maybe if it was 30-30 or something, but people running up and down the field, making mistakes and so forth. But these teams, aside from the penalties, Condridge have played pretty sound football, and in the other areas, the Tennessee just has lacked that punch inside the scoring area, 20, except for that one drive.
Yes, and I think the hurry-up offense put a little life in the offense for Tennessee. They seemed to be a little more focused when they hurried up. They just looked better. They looked sharper. Maybe that might be the key to their success in the second half.
There's the bread and butter, Gerard Gideon. Let's see if they go to him. Here is Roberts back, looking downfield. Pass is caught and hit immediately. Kingston, a wide receiver, made the stop. And Tennessee's Al, here I come, Wilson.
He just loves playing football. He's a guy that always has a smile on his face. He just enjoys playing football. And he will stick you right
there's
here.
Al.
Perfect tackle.
And that's one you'll remember, too. So it becomes now a 3rd down and 5 situation. Tennessee can hold them right here. They can get the ball back with time to score. Roberts being rushed by Leonard Little. Got away from Leonard and will not get away. The second wave takes him down. Sean Johnson, number 35, was primarily responsible, but Little created the havoc that caused the opening for Johnson to make the play.
There's just no substitute for speed. Right there, just runs right around. He's a continuous player. Look at the effort. He's coming back again, gets up, he's coming after him. That's a case of a little too much speed. He overran him. But that's the tenacity that the defense has got to continue to play with.
Into punt formation now is Jake Gabriel.
First punt.
His numbers averaging a little over 39. And this is the first punt of the football game. Terry Fair is standing at midfield, right at the 50-yard line. Coach Fulmer talking with the official about something that's some concern to him. It's enough of a concern that Tennessee calls a timeout. And now he talks with Manning. So they're going to get the ball back, Condridge. 58 seconds showing right now. And with a guy like Manning, you figure they can at least get in field goal range with a decent return here by Terry.
Decent return. I think with Peyton running the hurry-up offense, they can move the ball down the field with the possibility of scoring. The middle of the field will probably be open. The defense, Southern Miss defense, will probably take away the outs and the chance to get to the outside. But with college football, when you move the chains, the clock's not running. So if you're hitting it in the middle, you're getting 10 yards a pop, you can get down the field and have enough time left to score.
Whatever it is, they've gone over it rather thoroughly on the sidelines. Fulmer no doubt relaying some words from David Cutcliffe, the offensive coordinator upstairs here. And Gabriel is set to punt, standing on his 1-yard line. The snap, Tennessee's, it's going to be a quarter punt, go out of bounds. And it will be out of bounds at the 36-yard line. So at that point, Tennessee will take over with 53 seconds. Yes, they do have some time to get downfield and score here. 22-yard punt off the side of his foot. So Tennessee gets a break. Let's see if they take advantage of it.
See what kind of defense they come out in. This looks like just a case of missing it. Just right off the side of the foot, because Tennessee gave the look that they were going to rush the punt, but actually they had a return on it.
Gabriel had that pained expression on, too, after the kick. He knew immediately that he had sliced it.
The middle of the field is open.
Baten fires, complete. Inside the 20. Out of bounds. Just shy of the 15-yard line. The flag is down there. It could have been a face mask. Marcus Nash was the recipient of that pass. It covered 20 yards. Watch the tail end of the play here and see what happens to Marcus. It looked like he was flipped. It could have been face mask or just grabbing the helmet. We'll see.
Perry Phoenix
Spins.
made the tackle, and it was
big time face mask.
That's a face mask.
By the defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
I'm not sure. That shouldn't have been the big one because he didn't let loose. He didn't come away. That's normally a 15-yarder. Timeout has been called actually by Southern as they try to regroup defensively. Tennessee's got 46 seconds to get it into the end zone. Right now we are tied here at Neyland, 13-13. Tennessee has had some problems moving the football, although in the last series it looked like, as Condridge pointed out, they began to wake up just a little bit. Here's the situation. Travel packages are available, including game tickets for the December 6th big game in Atlanta. And for information, call that number on your screen, 1-888-367-8781. They've got the total package for you there, available for the game in Atlanta on December the 6th. Tennessee is in a position to be there. They have to beat Arkansas, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt. If they do, they will be in the game. And from the other side, who in the world knows? Because everybody I guess except Arkansas, is, with the loss to Ole Miss, is probably out of it. Timeouts. Southern's got a couple. And Tennessee, none. So that could be a factor right here with 46 seconds to go, no timeouts. But it almost puts you in a position, Condridge, where you have to throw the football at this stage with no timeouts.
Well, I think they will throw it, but it's just a matter of how they try to defend it. If they go 5 wides, which right now it's not 5 wides, but it's a situation where you still can get outside and you still can get out of bounds.
All right, I would look for number 6 right here. Let's see.
Here's a little fade.
There they go into the corner.
Touchdown. He dropped it. That was a good throw, good play. That ball's got to be caught.
Fearless Price, number 37, fighting the defender for that ball in the corner of the end zone. Take a look at it, Condridge.
This is a good throw. It's up and over, out, just maybe a little bit short. Ooh,
almost could have been interference there.
That's a little tougher catch than I thought.
Right there,
But you still got to make that play.
Peyton is 18 of 28 for 129 yards, and he's had some drops here today, too. All right, Manning back. Big play out in the flat. Complete. 5, down to the 3, down to the 2-yard line. The clock is still running.
Well, he'll go up and down it. He'll have 4
Jamal Lewis. Now it stops at 26 seconds remaining. It stops because of a first down. It will start running when the referee gives the signal here. The clock will start running. Remember, Tennessee has no timeouts.
They'll down it right here.
And that's exactly right. The old quarterback calls it. So now you go to the telephone and say, David, what do you have for us?
Well, if I know Coach Cutcliffe, and I think I do, he really likes the pick plays down on the goal line. And, well, they're not picks if you don't call them, but if you line up in 2 or 3 wides and run a guy across the formation in motion, it's hard for him to run through all those bodies. So
Jamal limped just a little bit there, but that's not that unusual for a running back of his size who gets such a tough work. Here they fade into the corner. Touchdown. Fearless this time brings it in. Fearless Price is a happy camper. So about 100,000 plus here in Neyland Stadium as Tennessee, with 18 seconds to go in the first half, the fireworks explode. They go on top 19-13, and Jeff Hall will attempt the extra point, or will they go for 2? No, they'll go for 1. Jeff Hall is in for the extra point. Scott will hold it. Benson Scott. And Jeff will try to make it a 20-13 ball game in the final seconds of the second quarter. He does. Tennessee 20 and Southern Miss 13. That was set up, remember, on a very poor 22-yard punt that went out of bounds Tennessee found themselves in good field position. They would have been on a pretty good punt in fair field position anyway, because Terry Fair was standing at midfield and could have gotten some very good yardage out of it. Everything fell Tennessee's way, including that perfect play in the final few seconds.
That was just a case of Deshane Mallard peeking in the backfield, and a fade route was run right behind him. He definitely out of position on that play. I'm sure he'll hear about that on the sideline.
Tennessee has taken the initiative here now in the final few seconds. Let's see if they can hold on to it. You want to certainly prevent Southern here from having a big play, and if you're a Southern fan, you want to see them break one right here. Jeff Hall has had a couple of pooch kicks, much to the dismay of the crowd here tonight, and now he's going to line it up. The last one he kicked about a yard or two deep into the end zone. Southern did bring it out to the 20, but I don't think he'll fool around with this one. 18 seconds before intermission. They put it on the ground, and Southern does a decent job of getting it out across the 30-yard line, but Eric Booth was the kick returner. No chance for a return, and that's what Tennessee wanted. They put it on the ground and then swarmed around it and will close it down. Let's see how they play it, Condridge, with 12 seconds to go.
Well, as feisty as this team has been, I would think they might, well, from their formation, it looks like they're going to go down on it. No? I think they're in a passive formation. They're going to run a play. I would think they would.
There's that beautiful fade to Peerless in the end zone, and now it's got to be one or the other end. They went down on the knee, and that's the situation. At halftime, the Tennessee Volunteers have gone on top of the Golden Eagles of Southern Mississippi by a score of 20-13. But I tell you what, it has been a very, very tough half of football for Tennessee, and they're not out of the woods by any means. Southern is a scrappy team that's obviously going to fight here all night, and Tennessee's going to have to earn it. They're going to have to play near perfect offense and play as well as they can on defense. Roberts has come in here tonight with a hot hand. Gideon, we expected to have a hot hand. Coach Fulmer had said he's one of the best receivers Tennessee will face this year, compared him to Jack Green of Florida, and so far he has lived. But boy, it has been very tough in the first half of play. We're set now to begin the second half, and Jeff Hall will be kicking off for the Southern Mississippi team. For Southern Mississippi receiving. Jeff Hall kicking off for balls. It rolls by and into the end zone. They'll have no play, and Southern will have to come out of there and put it in play on the 20-yard line. Take a look, Condridge, at the replays of the Tennessee scores.
Yeah, it's just a basic quarterback sneak. You got a guy that size, you just tuck it down, get it right behind your center and guard, and put it in the end zone. Here we've got a little fade pattern, and this is a perfect pass, but defensive back gets caught peeking in the backfield.
Well, there you see the stats in the first half of play. And first downs, Tennessee with the edge, and rushing a pretty good edge. Passing, look how even. 190 to 191. Turnovers the same. One apiece. Penalties. Southern's been hit a little harder in that department than Tennessee. Roberts beginning the second half of play, throwing on the bounce. And a man open on the curl out there. That's Gideon, and he was wide open, but in front of the Tennessee defender, but a poor throw by Roberts.
Got his foot caught, tripped. Didn't get a chance to follow through. If we get a replay on that one, that was just a physical error.
All right, Lee. Roberts brings his team up to the line of scrimmage. Early seconds of the third quarter of play. They're his numbers, and they're impressive tonight. 190 yards. He moves his men around. He may be changing the play. He steps out with a quick drop and throws it behind Gideon. They were not on the same page on that one.
That's a quarterback throwing it out and a receiver running a slant. That usually doesn't hook up.
Wayne Goodrich shown there on your screen. Number 23 has a brilliant career ahead of him at Tennessee. He's getting a little more confident each ball game with his cornerback play. He He's got speed and ability. It's just a matter of gaining more confidence, which he is doing. Third down conversions. They're 2 of 6. They go out of the shotgun to attempt it. And it's a big sack for Tennessee. Jonathan Brown leading the way. The second sack. And we talked about Jonathan in the beginning of the broadcast tonight. Condridge, this young man is having a leadership and a talent year as well. He's, along with Leonard Little, really, and Al Wilson, leading this Tennessee defense now, not only on the field, but also in the locker room.
Oh, yeah, they've become vocal leaders, and both of them that time met at the quarterback, and that's what you like to see from your two ends. That their old motto is, if you don't meet me back there, I'll be there by myself. But they both met at the quarterback that time, and that was a good defensive play.
New punter, Jamie Purser, is in, and he gets away a beautiful, beautiful punt. Terry Fair retreats to his own 38-yard line. Got a seam. Way down into Southern Miss territory to the 28-yard line. He outkicked his coverage, Condridge.
Sure did. That's a classic case of outkicking your coverage. And Tennessee did make a few good blocks along the way there, too. There was some running room.
Jamie Purser actually made the tackle, the punter. He saved the touchdown, 53 yards. The return, 32.
As you can see right there, there's some good blocks. One last block would have sprung for the touchdown.
Tennessee with the eye back situation. Payton fakes it to the deep man, keeps it, and throws it away. And again, I think we had a couple of guys on a different page here. Payton and the intended receiver, who in this case was one of his best friends, Marcus Nash. Although Nash may have been kind of held up down there. Not illegally, but didn't really seem to get into the pattern.
Smart move by Payton. Just throw the ball out of bounds. If you don't have it there, don't force it. You've got 3 more downs.
Second down and 10. He's got plenty of time. He's got his man. It's going to be close on the first down. He's right at the stick. Marcus Nash cutting across the middle.
Well, he actually had the first down and
may have weaved his way out of it. Let's see.
That's a first down. First down by a ball and a half.
So they hook up once again. They've done it many, many times. Tennessee driving early seconds of the second quarter of play. Second half of play. There's Payton's figures, and they're getting better and better. And they got just a little better right there. Down to the 5-yard line is Peerless Price. Payton is clicking, and his receivers are getting open now, which is something they had a little trouble doing in the first half, Condridge.
I think you and I both would have liked to have been in that locker room at halftime. I think a few things were said and expressed very strongly, and they're going out and doing it right now.
I think the paint may have come off the wall.
Yes.
All right, Tennessee driving now, first down at the 5-yard line, first down and goal to go. There's Peyton Manning looking over the situation. Out of the flat, and touchdown, Jermaine Copeland. Who else? He's had an all-American night.
I tell you, that's just a very heads-up play by Peyton Manning. When we take a look at the replay, I'll show you why. Because he saw what we can see up here in the booth very well. It's an uncovered receiver. He checks off to Jermaine Copeland. He's out here uncovered. Nobody's over him. And on the 5-yard line, if you're playing off of him, you've got just as good a chance of raising up, throwing him the football, and letting him get in the end zone as running the play. So that's what they did. They threw it to the uncovered man.
There's Jeff Hall's point after. It is good. And Tennessee has increased their lead to 27-13. I heard an ex-coach say, Condridge, that Peyton Manning is the best he's ever seen at doing exactly what you just said, coming up to the line and seeing that open person out there and making the right call.
Well, he did. And then what you know on the goal line is if you do have an uncovered receiver, that is a telltale sign that they're either in zone or very soft man, more than likely zone. So if you throw the ball to him and he can get upfield, especially at the 5-yard line, he's going to get 3 or 4 yards before anybody contacts him. And right there, he got a touchdown. So that's a very heads-up play by Peyton.
UT's average starting field position. The last 3 drives have been Southern Miss's 35. But they have performed well. There's that play again. Uncovered man. Good move right there, and strength by Copeland. He weighs over 200 pounds. He's not your average thin, wide receiver out there.
He's muscled up. He's thick, too. He's not just a heavy guy with weight. He's cut pretty good, and he's a very strong upper body guy.
He could have played college basketball at a lot of places.
Well, I saw him play in high school. You're right about that.
Good athletes like that are usually multi-purpose athletes, like our man Condridge Holloway, who could have played professional baseball. Here's Jeff Hall's kick, and he gets a lot of leg into this one right down to the 1-yard line. It's taken there by Booth, and Booth is going to come up shy of the 25-yard line. Eric Booth returning the kick for the Golden Eagles. The hope is in Memphis that they can get Southern Miss in there into the host spot in the Liberty Bowl and match them up with either Ole Miss or Mississippi State, which I think would fill the Liberty Bowl.
Fill it up. That'd be a great game.
27-13, Tennessee. Southern trying to get their offense going right now. They didn't do much with it the last time. A delay to the tailback. And he gets a little running room out to the 30-yard line before Tennessee closes it down. Harold and Shaw running with the ball. Leonard Little, who had the shoulder sting earlier, is back in there and playing well. It takes a lot to keep Leonard off the field. He got about 6 on that one, so it's second down now and 4 yards to go for Southern Miss. And a delay. The tailback in the middle. Jumps around and defensively now. Brings everybody up right on the line of scrimmage, as a matter of fact. Long count. And throwing behind the receiver is Roberts, intended for Gideon, who had such a super first half. But late in the second quarter of play, Condridge, those two, Roberts and Gideon, misfired on a couple of occasions. So that might have been the tip of something coming there, maybe a little more pressure by Tennessee accounting for that. Roberts checks his wrist for the play. That's been called in. Staff on the sideline. Southern Miss, third down conversions, 2 of 7. Here comes another one. Tennessee is getting some pressure. They swing it out on the side. It's going to be a first down. They pick it up with a couple of yards to spare. It'll be across the 35, 36-yard line. Tennessee's going to look at another first down being picked up by the Golden Eagles. Shaw was the man, and Goodrich will come up to make the stop, but not until the chains will be moved. There he is. He ducks that head. He gets yardage always. Al Wilson came in to put the clincher on him. Corey Gaines, safety, cheating up a little bit. First down and 10, 35-yard line. Handoff in the middle. Still driving with that football and picking up too much yards as far as Tennessee is concerned, up to the 42-yard line. That's Eric Booth, the number 2 tailback, carrying the ball. Well, Missouri is leading Nebraska. Are you kidding me? In the fourth quarter. Look at this one. Michigan is burying Penn State. Michigan still has the big game with Ohio State to go. Oregon leading Washington. Well, Condridge, didn't look like a normal day out there. Kansas State is leading Kansas. That would be normal. Second down and 4 to go. Tennessee needs to come up strong defensively right here, and they do. Ball carrier is knocked down. That's Eric Booth once again carrying the ball for Ron Green. Made the stop. Florida won today over Vanderbilt in Gainesville, 20-7. Wisconsin has defeated and upset Iowa 13-10. Syracuse struggling with Boston College, a team that they should handle easily. Ball State beating number 20 Toledo today. Texas A&M defeating Baylor. Back is Roberts with time. Throws in the flat, and oh, did he pay for it? That's Goodrich hitting Eric Booth. Those are the kind, if you're a DB, Condredge, you dream about, because the guy's not in a position to defend himself and you're running at full speed.
Well, what has happened, Southern Miss has made pretty much of a controlled living by dumping the ball off. And what Tennessee did that time was switch from man to zone, and there was a guy sitting right out there waiting to make contact, and that's what happened.
That big hit prevented the first down. If he'd turned, he could have maybe stretched it for a yard and a half. Last punt, 51 yards for Purser, but he also had a big return on it by Terry Fair, so he actually outkicked his coverage on that one. Terry is standing back inside his 20-yard line, and Purser gets off another just killer punt, and Fair wisely lets it go into the end zone. I don't know where this guy's been, Condredge.
Wonder why he was second team. I don't understand that one.
57 yards, no return.
Boy.
Tennessee will put it in play. I tell you what, a big, nice drive right here by the Vols would really be a backbreaker for Southern Mississippi. This is the first time in a while, though, that Tennessee has had this kind of field position. They have taken over the last 3 inside the 40-yard line of Southern Miss. So now they will have to drive 80 yards. We've got 9:54 remaining in the third quarter of play. Over 107,000 in Knoxville on homecoming watching the action here. There's Clifton I see on the field now. Remember, he was shaken up a little bit in the first half. There's big Cozy Coleman, the freshman who started this game for Jarvis Rito, who's a quad muscle pull, and they're holding him out. There's Trey Teague, who's been pretty consistent all year, and Spencer Riley among the big guys up front, all in that neighborhood of 300 pounds. And Condredge, in this day and time, if you don't weigh around 300, you're considered small in the offensive line and kind of out of place.
Well, you're usually not an offensive lineman. If you don't make it to tip the scales, they usually put you someplace on defense standing up on 2 feet. They just the guys have gotten so much bigger and so much taller offensive line-wise. And what's amazing is they've got tremendous skills. They can still run and got good feet and make great players.
All right, Peyton Manning with his ball club at the own 20, leading 27-13, and I'm sure would like to get a very good drive going here. Peyton stands up, may have checked off, throws a little quick hitch out in the flat. It's complete. It's going to be a first down and more for Marcus Nash. What did he see there, Condredge?
Well, they saw man-to-man coverage with everybody. He looked at the box. There were quite a few guys inside of the box. He knew he had one-on-one coverage out wide, so it's a choice. You either throw the fade or you throw the hitch. And this time they throw the hitch, catch and run.
Good move by Marcus after. He's got 7 receptions, 83 yards, so he and Jermaine are putting on quite a show tonight as far as receivers are concerned. Here's a cutback by Jamal Lewis. Big drive. Give the ball to Jamal. Most of that was on his own, Condredge.
A lot of second effort there. If you've ever met this kid up close, though, he is put together big time. I mean, he is a strong 18-year-old freshman. This guy is just 2, 3. See, he just runs through people. You can't arm tackle Jamal. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's very rare that the first guy with an arm tackle tackles him. Defensive backs hate to see him one-on-one.
There are his numbers on the night, 11 rushes for 36, but then some punishing yardage like that one. That's when you have a second thought about trying to bring him down the next time, and there's your next chance. And he got almost a first down again. He's maybe a half a yard shy of a first down. Jamal Lewis. Tennessee going now to the demoralizing game, I guess you could say, Condredge. When you run the ball straight at somebody, it's really devastating. There he is. He may weigh a little more than 220 now. That was his incoming weight. I'm thinking more in the 230 range.
230 range, you're absolutely correct. He's much closer to 230.
And will probably wind up playing at 240 next year. He can handle that. Coach Stuckey does a beautiful job here at the University of Tennessee in the weight room, keeping his players gaining weight when they need to, or losing, as the case may be. Derek Edmonds, reserve fullback carries the ball. All around football player Derek Evans. He can't play and has played some defense. Tennessee's got a number of guys like that. All right, Tennessee in a full house backfield this time, and they give it to the big dog, and he climbs over the pile. Jamal Lewis picks up more positive yardage and moves the chains again. I would think we might see Travis Stevens before the night is over if Tennessee stays in command here as they are right now, although it's not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. Southern is a very dangerous football team, but Travis Stevens is a true freshman from Clarksville who has looked good in practice, and they expect good things from him. They're redshirting a guy or two also, a partial qualifier that will help a great deal with a lot of talent next year. Here's Peyton with time, firing into a crowd. Boy, that's confidence in the arm there, Congress.
Oh, yeah. That's whenever you play zone against Peyton and the receivers run the routes properly, he will throw in between the backers. That's something that he doesn't fear because he knows he has a good enough arm to just gut it right in there. And one thing he does, too, he keeps the ball down low, which gives the receiver a lot of confidence knowing he can catch the ball, go to the ground, not take a big shot.
Good catch by Andy McCullough. It's good for 7. They need 3 for a first. Manning's going to throw out in the flat. That's a shame because Jamal had some running room right there. It's in a little area where they got to work with him some. He's not bad, but he's, you know, in the last game against Carolina, they had one right down the middle, which should have been a touchdown. And yeah, put Smokey in. Smokey says he didn't want it. Smokey's very content right where he is, I'm sure. 8th play of the drive coming up. Peyton Manning's numbers, 25 out of 37. He's 238 yards. Pointing to the defense, telling his men what to do. And he's got a man open. Still driving. Jermaine Copeland. Fantastic night for Copeland. This play covers 26 yards.
Just shows a lot of confidence on the part of Peyton Manning. Right here, it's just a little simple out pattern, but here's the second effort. Watch this. One little move right here, and he almost gets by, almost breaks this last tackle. But Jermaine Copeland, I would venture to say he's probably the leading receiver after catch on the Tennessee team.
Look at that. 11 catches for 130-plus yards. Parrish made that stop. He was the last man with a shot at him. They drive the tailback Jamal Lewis over right guard for a little bit of positive yardage. Let's go down to Missy on the sidelines.
Well, I heard some bad news from Dr. Yeomans. Billy Ratcliffe, defensive tackle, he got hurt last year, ACL. It's again. He tore his right ACL. Looks like he'll be out for the season. Back to you guys.
Oh, my goodness. That is really, really bad news. Not only to Billy, but to the team. He has fought back for. They've tried the fade this time in the left corner, and it is incomplete. Intended for Marcus Nash. Billy Ratcliffe, of course, they had that scare with him and on the field. And
right.
Came in here, actually reported to Tennessee, Condridge, remember, with what they thought at that time was actually an old hairline fracture. And he had to work through that. And now comes more news. But as Missy reported, that word came from the doctor. Tennessee third down conversions, 5 of 9. They need one right here, 3rd down and 8. Send Marcus in motion. They go back against the grain to Marcus. Yes, sir.
Touchdown. That's a great play call. That was a great play call.
That was super. I don't know if it was a checkoff or if Cutcliffe called it upstairs.
Coach Cutcliffe set this one up all game. I guarantee you that, because every time they've done any kind of sprint out, Southern Miss has tried to block the sprint out by getting people upfield and trying to catch the sprint out from the backside. When you do that, you're vulnerable to the backside screen, and that's exactly what happened. They're chasing from the back, throw the screen out there. There's one defensive back, 4 linemen, and a receiver. I think we win that one. That's the way it goes right here. Just it's a screen back to the wide receiver, and as you can see, a lot of orange jerseys out in front of Marcus Nash and
Trey Teague being primary. Jeff Hall's extra point is good, and the drive ends in 7 for Tennessee and becomes a 34-13 ball game. Tennessee touchdowns in the last 4 drives. Final score in the SEC tonight, LSU 27, Alabama nothing.
Wow.
Long year for the Crimson Tide.
On a fake, Corby Jones rolls hard right, got him in wide open, the touchdown! Missouri leads it, 4:39. Eddie Brooks all alone in the end zone.
Out of the West, it plays in Atlanta on December the 6th, but who knows? You saw what's happened so far today. It's been a wild year in college football, but I tell you what, they can run the football as well as anybody, and when you run that well, you can get in a position to control games, and that's probably what they did with Alabama today. Alabama's been a little susceptible to the run in recent weeks, and you turn Falk and all those guys loose. They're really talented guy. Collins is not even playing now, but
Cecil the Diesel, he was something.
He is a handful, armful. Falk had actually 5 touchdowns in his last outing against Kentucky, so he has really begun to look like a #1 draft pick type guy. All right, Jeff Hall set to kick off for the Orange, and it's fielded at the 4-yard line. A running room here, a lot of running room. It's going to be up to Jeff Hall, and he didn't get it. And he's still on his feet, and apparently he's going to score. It looked like he might have stepped on the out-of-bounds line, but he didn't. And all of a sudden, folks, Southern Miss, down and out, is back in it. It's a 96-yard punt return or kick return by Eric Booth. That was very close on about 3 occasions. Let's take a look at him as he tight ropes it down the sidelines. It looked like that he might be knocked out, especially in the area where Hall was standing, but not so, says the referees. There he cuts very close there. Again close, but again not on the mark, not on the white stripe, so he made it all the way. Huge play for Southern and a huge letdown by Tennessee. There's the extra point. It is up, and it is good by Tim Hardaway. And all of a sudden, it's a 34-20 ball game. Tennessee had them 34-13 on the ropes. And now Southern Miss has found new life. Here's the Tennessee touchdown, Conridge.
Just a reverse screen, sprint left, screen back to the right, to the wide receiver. And as you can see, a lot of Tennessee jerseys out front. Not trouble for Marcus Nash. Now here's the run back. Right here, overrun and bunched up. Tennessee got bunched up quite a bit, didn't stay in their lanes. And it's just a case of good running. Of course, you got to try to make that tackle right there. But that is a kicker. But still, you got to. If you're on the kickoff team, you got to be able to tackle.
Well, listen to this score, folks. 4 minutes and 39 seconds left. Granted, it's not over, but Missouri is leading Nebraska 38-31 with 4 minutes and 39 seconds to go. A team that we had all labeled unbeatable. The past 3 or 4 weeks, and you got to learn one of these days there's no such animal.
That's right.
All right, Tennessee now desperately needs to make things happen offensively because they've let Southern Miss back in this football game. .5:16 remaining in the third quarter. What's been a pretty fast-moving second half here. Southern will kick off. There's Dwayne Goodrich standing deep for Tennessee. Oregon leading Washington by a field goal. Still about 10 minutes to go in that ball game. But what a wild day. So I guess we shouldn't be surprised at anything happening here. All right, it's fielded by Tennessee. Goodrich comes across the 15, 20. 30, still going, 40-yard line. He's put Tennessee in great shape. Dwayne Goodrich, number 23, with a 34-yard return of the kickoff. Here comes Peyton and company now.
Tennessee offense has got to respond to that kickoff return. If not, this could be very interesting.
They obviously relaxed a bit on that Southern Miss kick return. Tennessee generally has played the kicking game pretty well this year, but had a breakdown on that one. There's the ball offense. They've scored touchdowns on the last 4 possessions. Let's see if they can make it 5. Manning, perfect throw.
You got to catch the ball.
And it's Marcus Nash. Normally, of course, very sure-handed and extremely disappointed with that. That would have been a huge gain and probably could have turned and picked up quite a bit more, Condridge.
Could have. That's one of those plays where you try to run before you catch it.
But he's got 9 receptions for 97 yards, so you can't fault him too much.
That would have put him over 100. That's what the coach is going to say.
Yeah, yeah. Manning, little pressure. Fires once again on absolute, cold-blooded strike.
That's a great catch by Peerless Price because he knew he was going to get nailed. He hung in there, caught the football.
Tennessee with a big first down right there. The chains go down the field, and the Vols, with 4:53 remaining in the third quarter, pick up some very valuable yardage. Remember, this started with an excellent kick return by Dwayne Goodrich. Manning with 2 back set, actually a wing on the right side. Drops back, fires once again, perfect throw, great catch, and Tennessee's Peerless Price picks up more big yardage as he rolls downfield, and Tennessee moves the chains again. And the Vols trying to get their 5th straight touchdown on 5 possessions. 18 yards on the play, 11th play in the drive. Condridge, an important thing too, they're taking up quite a bit of time here.
Yes, they are. They're tiring out the defense.
There's a little swing. It was a beautifully set up play and would have gone for great yardage, but a lineman, Adalius Thomas, defensive end, who's a very good football player, reached up and knocked it down. He's had a number of sacks this year, I think about 6. There he is with the big hand up there knocking it down, and Manning can only applaud that move. He had the man out there in the flat who could have probably gone for 20. Manning has gone over 300. Here he is, fakes the draw, fires for the end zone, touchdown, Marcus Nash. 28-yard strike from one buddy to another buddy.
Perfect strike. You can only play man for so long until it breaks down, and when you got a bigger receiver like Marcus Nash on a shorter receiver, it makes it an easier throw. You don't have to put as much air on the ball. You can throw it more on the line and just keep it high because you can throw it over the DB.
I don't know that the defense was all that bad, Condridge. It was perfect by Marcus and Peyton. Take a look. He's
beat, but that's close. That's pretty good defense.
That's 6 inches.
That's pretty good distance. And if it was a guy his own height, it would have been a tougher throw. But
Jeff Hall puts another point on the board. Tennessee answers that 96-yard kick return rather quickly, 41-20 in favor of the Vols. Of course, Dwayne Goodrich got it started, brought it out 34 yards, and as Condridge said, you got to take advantage of that, and they did.
Well, Bob, do you think we'll see another long kickoff, or will it be a poocher?
I'm going back to favoring the pooch now.
For all the people that were questioning that, the old coach is not so dumb, is he?
Well,
so it's we'll see what happens here, though.
Still a lot of time in this football game. Got a quarter to go, plus 4 minutes and 10 seconds in the third quarter. And no one in this crowd is leaving. Copeland and Nash combined 22 receptions, 11 each for 262 yards.
Not a bad day. Not a bad day.
Those are what they call gaudy numbers.
Yes. Worthy of SEC Player of the Week.
Yeah, when you're even like that with the same number of catches, basically the same yardage, why not give a dual award? Who knows what else is happening around the league or what happened with LSU tonight and their big victory over Alabama, but I can't imagine anybody doing a better job than those two receiving anywhere in the country for that matter.
Guess what's coming? Watch where the kicker is. Guess what's coming?
It's kind of a soft kick.
Soft one.
Lands at the 10-yard line. And here they come looking for room, and they won't find it this time. Let's go down to Missy on the sidelines.
I've got another blast from the past and another one of Conridge's friends. Greg Phillips played as an off-guard back in 76, 78. Fun to come back. You live in Atlanta now, and a lot of memories. Talk about your old freshman coach out here.
Well, Phil Fulmer was graduate assistant coach when I was a freshman at UT. He was a lot younger and a little bit more muscular and slim of build back then. But he was a real solid fellow. We had some good times with Phil. He taught us how to sit there on that 5-yard line and push the ball in over the goal line.
You playing rugby a little bit still?
Yeah. Once you hear a voice and sound like this, you get excitement in your blood, and you get into the business world, and you want a little excitement on your weekends.
Okay, that's on the weekend. You're an electrical engineer, okay?
Correct.
Okay, back up to you guys. Thanks, Greg.
Okay, thank you, Missy. A lot of old friends down there on the sidelines tonight, Conrad.
Yeah, Greg's from Huntsville. He was always a wizard. He's a very intelligent person.
Shaw carried on that last one, and Leonard Little finally mopped it up, but Tennessee had 3 or 4 guys to hit him. Again, Bailey Ratliff has suffered a knee injury tonight, and it's an ACL, it appears. Quarterback got hit as soon as he handed it off, but he did get it away, and Torrey Noel finally made the stop of tailback Eric Booth after picking up some positive yardage. Here's Tennessee.
Touchdown. Perfect
pass for the touchdown. 5 plays, 60 yards. Consumed a minute 6. And Nash 28 yards for the final 6. The Vols now have the ball in their court, the Vol defense. Let's see if they can stand up and stop the Ole Miss, the Southern Miss team right here. Ooh, almost intercepted. Back there it was intended for the big tight end, Terry Hardy, 265-pounder, who looks like a tackle downfield, but he moves quite well. And it was Fred White, number 2, back there, who made the play. Good to see Fred back because he went out earlier with what was described as a good solid hit that kind of left the bells ringing, but he came back. There's Purser, has 2 punts for 53.5, 1 for 56 yards, but remember that one had a big fat return on it too, over 30 yards by Terry Fair. Here he is. He wasn't the starting punter in this ball game tonight. His 3rd punt of the night. Again, he nails it pretty good. Fair's going over though, and this one kind of got off the side of his foot and didn't turn out to be what he expected. The ball's going to be brought in at the 40-yard line and put in play. So this one is 31 yards. That'll drop the average down just a bit. 2:31 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. Tennessee is up 41-20. I would think if they get one more touchdown, they'll put T in there. Let's go down to Missy.
Vicki Thorne was down here earlier, and guys, even when the balls were down, she said you weren't worried at all.
Well, I knew that we would come back, and I just felt like I was bringing them a little bit of bad luck by being down here. So I thought I'd get back in my box where I could concentrate, and sure enough, I think they just had a little bit of a cold start. The weather's cold, and now they're hot, and we're ready to cheer them on to a victory.
You must have had an exciting week, though. It's so hard to focus on this game, but knowing what's going on with the Vols being in the driver's seat, it must be exciting.
It's very exciting. I think it's kind of been a new lease on life for everybody, looking, ahead a little bit, which we're taught not to, but we're in the driver's seat, and we're really pleased about being there. We're in charge of our own destiny now, and it looks like from tonight that our kids are going to take that opportunity and benefit from it.
Okay, thank you, Vicki Fulmer.
Okay, thanks.
Vicki's not the only Fulmer on the sideline. Her daughter's down here is the ball girl, Brittany. We'll see if we can round her up in just a little bit. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Missy. A little pass out there for some few yards, 3 to be exact, by Manning to Bryson. So Tennessee's looking at a 2nd down and 7 situation right here. Manning stands up, looks around. Got to believe that he's found something he likes. And there it is. Pass a little bit low, but it is complete to Peerless Price. Not quite enough for a 1st down, a couple of yards short. So Tennessee's going to be looking again at one of those 3rd down situations, Condridge, where they've had pretty good success tonight.
3rd and 3. They've done fairly well, and if they go according to form, you'll see a formation with a lot of wide receivers, which twins up at the top. It's a pass, look for the new dumper.
And he looks around, and he needs a couple of yards for a first. There's his shot out in the flat, and it's incomplete. So they're probably going to have to punt the football. It was kind of a daring pass. Receiver was pretty well covered out there. Cedric Wilson, in fact, had a man all over him, but Manning put it in there anyway, and it would have been close. He would have had to turn and get maybe another yard to get a first down, which he didn't. And so it will be the first punt of the night for Chris Hogue of Tennessee. The very first kick, and it comes with 1 minute and 7 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. He's come on and been a valuable part of Tennessee's team. David Leverton had some problems. There's a Chris Hogue beauty. Let it bounce. Although Leverton, I think, has a great career ahead of him. Conrad, he's still got the longest kick of the year, 71 yards against UCLA. Right. That punt was good for 52 yards. And no chance for the return. So Chris Hogue did his job. Now Tennessee's defense has to go to work. With under 1 minute to go in the third quarter, the Vols up 41-20 in homecoming. Manning has gone over 300 yards. All right, if you'd like to go to the championship game, here's the way to do it. December 6th in Atlanta, travel packages, including game tickets. Folks, they're tough to come by. There's the number, 1-888-367-8781. Yes, it does include tickets to the game. December 6th in Atlanta. Here's Roberts out on the flat. Bad move. Shaw caught it and would have been much better off to have dropped it. Tennessee just smothered him out there. Leading the way was Sean Ellis. Sean Ellis is a great prospect. There he is, number 93, very strong. He's going to keep the tradition at defensive end going here, I think, Conridge.
He sure does have some size. I've seen him.
Got some arms on him, man.
He is a big man.
Roberts 2 yards passing this half. That's right, 2 yards. Although he had a great first half. This time he's getting a little bit of pressure. He fires, and it is incomplete. And it's incomplete because Torrey Noel made it so. He hit Todd Pinkston with the ball on his fingertips and made him turn it loose. Torrey Noel's had a super game. What a game he played against Alabama. About 11 tackles in that game. Look at this one now.
This one's a little bit high, and when the receiver gets stretched out like that, he's in a vulnerable position.
It's gutty for him to take a shot at catching it, though. There are a lot of receivers that would have got the old alligator arm.
Oh, yeah.
There's Smokey's kind of fired up right now. Well, that's about as fired up as Smokey's going to get. Out of the shotgun. Tennessee got pressure, but he got out of it. Fires out in the flat, and they hit him close to the first down marker. I don't think he's quite got it, but we'll see. Eddie Shaw, the wide receiver. Al Wilson made the stop. We got Harold Shaw, running back. We got Eddie Shaw, wide receiver. That was Eddie.
A little bit short. Let's see what they do. I would imagine they'll go for it.
Well, the thing about it is it's going to be the first play of the next quarter when they go for it. That's the end of the third quarter. Tennessee leading 41-20 with it up. And Tennessee once again will try to dig in defensively here. Roberts appears to be checking off. Fakes to his tailback. And it's blown dead.
Probably be some motion.
Yeah, it would indicate that. Less than 30 seconds remaining now, and Nebraska is trailing 38-31 against Missouri. Well, you saw the...
Got him out of bounds. No, they're going to keep it winding. But it is a first down, remember, so the clock will stop with 14 seconds and a first down for the Cornhuskers.
That was a real good throw by Scott Frost. That receiver caught that ball in self-defense.
Scott Frost with first down, and he'll stop it. We'll check with the coaches. 14 seconds. And 12 yards away. Well, Dan, you have been in a situation like this so many times before as the quarterback, teams trying to scramble and get a big touchdown at the end of the game. What must a quarterback remind himself of right now?
Well, that you have more time than you really think. I mean, each play takes 4, 5, maybe 6 seconds. The key here is not rush your own mechanics. Just be cool, do what you do in practice all the time, and throw the ball as you normally would. A lot of quarterbacks here will tighten up. They might even panic a little bit here because they feel that they have to rush things.
Nebraska comes back now. Second down. They'll line up in the shotgun. Frost will come to the wide side. To the end zone, battle at the 2-yard line. Incomplete is the rule. Davison saying he was interfered with by Shad Chris. He's the best defensive back at Missouri, and he did the job on the near side.
I talk about confidence a quarterback has in a true freshman receiver, and I think Davison has a beef there. Shad Chris was all over his back. There was contact before the ball got there.
Third down. Frost to the middle. Juggle. Diving touchdown, Nebraska. Davison on the deflection. Nebraska's a point away from tying the game. The deflection is caught. The fans have broken into the end zone. They expected the game to be over. But a touchdown was signaled for in the end zone. They'll clear the field and kick for the tie.
Virtually impossible to get to him. 1-2 steps that time. Bang, there he is. Not a bad catch either. Tennessee closes down quickly. Torrey Noel's number 9 pushing him back there, but it's going to bring up a second down and about a yard. Southern Miss driving with the football. Vols need a big defensive play here. Here's the quick. Oh, there it is. It's an interception. A big mistake between the quarterback and the receiver. I don't know which one was wrong, but one of them definitely was. Nobody there except Tennessee's Terry Fair.
Well, this could have been twofold because if the receivers are
overtime,
that's a touchdown for Southern Mississippi because he had broken past. Our defensive back Fair bit on the hook, the little hitch pattern, and it was clear sailing.
Nebraska's tied it up. It's 38-38. So I guess they're going into overtime. Is that right? All right, here is Peyton Manning with a whistle blowing it dead. And could be movement by Tennessee here. Oregon has shocked number 6 Washington. So there's a team in front of Tennessee that's lost.
Ball start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Ball start, movement up front. Oregon 31, Washington number 6 in the nation 28. That is a final score. Crowd reacting to various scores like we are here tonight, almost unbelievable. Here's Manning looking now at a 1st and 15. Puts it in the stomach of his tailback, and he's outside here, Jamal, for a little bit of a gain. Coming up from the secondary is Patrick Surtain. There's the numbers between the quarterbacks. Roberts 22 of 33, 240. Manning 32 of 48, 339. 240, a lot of yardage for the Tennessee team to give up. But Roberts, you have to give him a lot of credit too, Condrich. He has played a very, very good game, and they had a good plan today.
They had a great plan. They're very consistent, and they've done a good job.
Tennessee scored on the last 5 possessions, as you saw, and there is a completed pass, and this could be trouble. It is trouble for Southern. Almost broke it, and down to the 30-yard line is Andy McCullough. Big, strong receiver. And when McCullough gets striding like that, it's very difficult to bring him down.
Tell you one thing you've got to appreciate about this play is if you take a look at Peyton Manning right here, he's running left. Watch where he throws this ball. All the way back into the middle of the field, running left. That is difficult, folks. that is not an easy thing to do. And Peyton made it look kind of normal, which is what he does with a lot of things. He's just smooth.
Yeah, just made it look like that's the way you do it. Everybody should do it like that. And it's, as Conrad said, virtually impossible to do. 41 yards they covered. Here is not much in the middle this time, maybe a yard, and that's about it. Jamal couldn't find much running room. 11:30, the clock running, remaining in the contest. Tennessee 41 and Southern 20. Vols trying to make it 6 possessions in a row in which they scored here in the second half of play. Had one punt in this ball game. And that was a beauty. It was for over 50 yards by Chris Hogue, but only one punt, which tells you something about the offensive productivity of Tennessee. Although they started slow and got a couple of field goals and kind of fooled around there in the first half of play until late in the first half. Here's a mix-up in the backfield, but Manning still gets the ball away. Apparently, the running back thought he was supposed to take the ball, and Manning had other plans. And I guess that's one of those checkoffs that somebody didn't hear.
That didn't look pretty. That was
real ugly, as a matter of fact.
They'll get it straightened out. Those two, that's maybe one of the freshman drawbacks. Sometimes you hear different things. Of course, you notice I don't never blame the quarterback.
That's right.
That's always got to be somebody else.
Jamal obviously thought he was supposed to get a handoff, and that was not the case. And it kind of just turned out to be a busted situation. So it's a 3rd and 9. Here's a big play for Manning. Fearless Price was the intended receiver, and Fearless had a half a step on his guy and could have caught it had it been maybe a yard shorter. What do you do, Condridge? Do you go or do you kick?
Kick the field goal. You got to
time, and they would with another yard. This is 2nd down and 1. First overtime, first possession. Scores tied at 38. And Amon Green for the first down to the 12-yard line. So it will be a first down coming up here. Fresh set of downs for Nebraska. So if we had enough excitement in this one, what a great, great college football game this wound up being.
And Nebraska, knowing that their number 1 ranking is on the line, they haven't quit, they haven't buckled. They've faced down Corby Jones.
If I was Tom Osborne, I'd keep that Adidas shoe contract after that last kick in the end zone. First down and 10. Frost runs the option, crashes inside, 5, goes for the goal line. Touchdown. And remember, Missouri gets a chance to respond. It's not sudden death, not like the NFL.
How about 4 touchdowns on the ground today and tonight for Scott Frost? Remember the one he dove in earlier in the game for 15 yards out? Similar type of effort here as he sees the cone and goes right by the Tiger for the score.
Chris Brown. He adds the extra point, and now Missouri.
And checking to the proper things. He's tremendous at the run game and making choices there. He does all the things that you can ask a quarterback to do over the long haul of a game that people would never have any idea about unless you were in our meeting rooms.
Well, that basically is what Condridge told me yesterday, last night. Condridge said, I look on the South Carolina game as a great performance.
Oh, yeah. It's when you have options and you utilize them, that's what you're supposed to do as a quarterback.
Well, there you see his numbers, 33 out of 51, 380. That play, that drive, 6 plays, 42 yards, consumed 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and the culmination of 47-yard field goal by Hall. Here's a pretty good return by Southern Miss out to about the 28-yard line. Eric Booth, who broke one earlier tonight for 96 yards to make this game respectable. Let's go down to Missy, another member of the Fulmer family down there, I believe.
That's right. This is Brittany Fulmer. She is Coach Fulmer and Vicky's second daughter. Now, tell me, how exciting is it to be the ball girl?
Well, I really like it. It's real exciting because you get to experience everything.
Dangerous at all?
Kind of, but just make sure you don't get run over and get out of the way when they're heading towards you.
Tell me about the ups and downs about being a coach's daughter. Is it tough?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of downs to it. You don't get to see them a lot, but
ups like today so far?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to sit back to you guys. Brittany Fulmer is one of the top divers for her age in the Southeast. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Missy. Last 5 drives for Southern have ended in 5 punts. Let's see if it happens again. It's 2nd down and 8. That time Shaw in the middle for only a couple. 10 minutes exactly
Hang out with me for a minute.
left in the ball game, and the clock running. We've gone under the 10-minute mark. Here's Roberts looking around. Tennessee tripped him for a second. He's going to wind up with the first down out of this.
Penalty flag.
Todd Pinkston, but there is a penalty down, and it's in the backfield.
In the holding zone.
Yep, that's what you figure. It's almost always that, or a late hit on the quarterback, and that wasn't the case this time. So here comes the official with the announcement.
Holding. 20 offense, 10-yard penalty. 2nd down over again.
Southern gets nailed with another one, but it's their own making. Final score, Nebraska pulled it out, as number 1 is supposed to do. Nebraska 45, Missouri 38. That is a final, but do they remain number 1? Here's Roberts. A little quick swing over the middle. Going to be a lot of yardage picked up here. Not nearly enough for a first down, though. Remember the penalty, but it's brought back out to the 30-yard line. Eddie Shaw. That play has worked repeatedly tonight for Southern Conference.
Just a little inside screen, and that's one of the ways that you can negate the rush. When you're getting a good rush, you just screen it right underneath, and your linemen are still walking downfield. So it's
Tell you what,
a good play.
It's scary, but that's Kentucky's favorite play.
Yes, yes.
Couch will throw that thing 20 times in a ball game. So Tennessee's got to try to figure out something before they meet the Wildcats on that particular play, at least to slow it down.
It's good to see it on film. That way you can go over in the meetings and come up with a plan.
Tennessee had called the timeout. They've got a couple remaining. Southern has yet to use one in the second half. 9:11 to go before we exit the building. Tennessee 44, Southern 20. So many things have happened above.
Thought she'd be so lucky.
True freshman there, looked a lot like the immaculate reception. Extra point good, tied at 38 all. Nebraska got the ball first, and Scott Frost takes it in himself. Extra point good, 45-38 Nebraska. Missouri then gets the ball on a 4th and 7. Corby Jones gets taken down by Grant Wistrom. And oh my, Nebraska dodges a big-time bullet as Scott Frost and company stay unbeaten. 45-38 the final score. Nebraska improves to 9-0. A very, very tough loss.
And they brought some excitement back. I've always wondered, Condrich, why in the world a heavily populated state like that, right in the middle of the country, couldn't be successful in football, but they haven't been.
That's probably recruiting, and some
recruiting.
That's it.
3 of 11 on 3rd down conversions. It's now 3rd and 7 for Southern. Out of the gun, Roberts being pressured, knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Looked like Darwin Walker was the man. He was. Big number 58. One of a couple of guys on the Tennessee team that can bench over 500. The other is Teague. And they've got some more guys right on the verge of it. So Tennessee physically is a very strong football team. They're not, if you want to get into arm wrestling, they rank right up there with the top 1, 2, or 3 in the country, I would think.
It's amazing how everything's grown up. In my era, it was 300 pounds, now it's 5.
Purser is back in punt formation. He's had some beauties tonight. One shank. This time he gets off a returnable kick, but it comes up a little short, and Fair says, let it bounce, and we'll go from there. 8 minutes, 57 seconds. Let's see if Manning comes back. 8:57 remaining, and apparently he's going to go one more series. 44-20. Roberts in the first half was 16 of 21 for 190 yards. In the second half, he's 7 of 14 for 64 yards. Quite a difference. There's Manning's numbers this year versus Florida in 96, Arkansas 95, 380 against Southern today, and this night is not over yet for Peyton. End off this time, and some pretty positive yards by Jamal. He's still digging. Look at him go. He got that extra effort, got him the first down. He really should have been about 9 yards on the carry, and he got about 11 out of it because he just wouldn't be stopped.
It's very rare that the one defensive back is going to bring Jamal Lewis down. He's just a big, powerful runner. One thing he told me interviewing him last week, he said all the DBs come up and they try to cut his ankles, and he has to be very confident. He has to be careful of that because he can get injured very easily. But what he said he's starting to do is lower his shoulder, use his forearm, and maybe jump him sometimes.
16 carries, 64 yards tonight for Jamal. Punishing runs. They play fake to him this time, and then Peyton completes the pass for the big gain. Nice play to Andy McCullough. Russ Berry spotting for us here tonight. Bob Bell and Conridge Holloway and all the gang. Video Seed Production in Knoxville. Glad to have you on board. Excellent work by our technical people tonight. Some great pictures. Good atmosphere tonight, as you would expect, with over 107,000 on homecoming. Even though the weather hasn't been a gorgeous night, it's at least the rain has stayed away, and we're thankful for that. Pitches. Positive yardage, maybe 2. Mark Levine, who's not seen much action tonight because he was kind of nicked and bruised this week, as a few of the other Vols have been. Tennessee plays a night game next. Little Rock in November. That could be a chancy situation. Conridge?
Could be, but Arkansas always plays well at home. But if Tennessee gets on a roll and they're playing like their offense can and their defense just stays consistent, I think that can be a W.
Tennessee stood up. I assume it's on the Vols because nobody made contact in the neutral zone.
Mental errors. Those are controllable errors.
That's the kind. Occasionally, if it's an over-aggressive penalty, a coach will look the other way and say, well, you can expect that sometime. Maybe a pass interference you can expect. There is no excuse for a motion penalty like that. 8 penalties, 42 yards for Tennessee. Here's a nice hole for Levine, and he drives way short of the first because of the penalty, but he's down just shy of the 40-yard line. Southern Miss not quitting at all. You got to give them a lot of credit for that. 6 minutes, 44 seconds. There's still time. In reality, Tennessee had this one kind of put away a long time ago. Then came that 96-yard punt return by Roberts that gave them some renewed life, and they've hung around. 6:28 to go, and Manning looking at the defense, seeing what's out there for him, and that's what's out there for him. Still driving with the football. Almost fumble, but the ground may have caused it. Mark Levine was the man down, and I think he was down. We'll see, though. They may give it to Southern. They are. I thought he was down, but not so. They're turning it over to Southern. Let's take a look. Still fighting. That extra effort, of course, costing right here.
It's a fumble.
It's out of there. And it was making the tackle that time, Deshaun Mallard. Turnovers. Southern has turned it over twice. Tennessee twice.
Fulmer will not be happy with that.
Nope, he wanted that as the put-away drive and then put in all the subs. Well, a lot of subs are in there now, but that way you can pretty well empty the bench. Now, with over 6 minutes to go, try to stop Southern again. Eric Booth, number 2 tailback, and Sean Johnson, who's played a pretty good football game tonight. Linebacker from Kentucky who's gotten better and better. There's a nice view.
They're there someplace.
They're on the top of the press box. They're at the bottom of the press box. That's a sure sign that the wind has died down. You don't stand up there if it's real windy.
Oh, no.
It's a long way down. Tennessee almost jumped off sides, but they get back. It's a long count by Roberts. Hands off to Booth, and Booth is solid. Al Wilson. Yeah, you can pretty well, when the head snaps back like that, you know that Wilson is in the neighborhood.
I don't really understand this play calling. It's, you would think that they would try to get back into this thing by throwing the football. And by running it, they're just letting the clock run.
Clock is running. It's coming up on 5 minutes. You're right, Condridge. It's a little bit different, I think. 44-20, favor of the Vols. Favored by 18.5, 19 coming in. They go into the shotgun this time, and Tennessee attempts to put some pressure on them. Flag is thrown, and it is a first down, depending on the penalty.
The holding zone.
Kevin Hurd, wide receiver, caught it coming across, and coming across the middle has been the team tonight from Mississippi. I think they're going to retreat here. Okay, we'll check with the referee.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat third down.
There you go. And another penalty that's costly for Southern Miss. They had picked up a first down, but of course the penalty wipes that off. 11 penalties, 95 yards against Southern. Coach Fulmer and his staff probably pleased with the second half of play. Third down conversions, 3 of 12. And here they go again, 3rd and a mile, and it's incomplete. So they're looking at a 4th down and long yardage now, 21 yards for a first, with 4 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the contest in Knoxville. Some of the crowd filing out now, knowing that Tennessee has this one pretty secure. You got to give Southern a lot of credit. They came in here tonight not really in awe of the Vols and played very good football. I saw them early in the year in their opener, as a matter of fact, against Florida, and they gave the Gators all they wanted in that one.
They sure did.
It was at 21-7, I believe, when they counted.
Yes, it was a close ball game.
Punt formation. And it's another nice one by Purser, driving Tennessee back to the 18-yard line, trying to find some running room. It's Cedric Wilson that time returning. 56-yard return, punt, and not much on the return. Cedric Wilson is going to be an excellent football player. He already is a good football player. He's a quarterback in high school down in Memphis, Melrose. I'll tell you what, he's just got sensational athletic ability, and he is not afraid. He has no fear catching over the middle, returning kicks, what have you. He's not that big, but he plays awfully big. Yep. Well, T. Martin, the future for Tennessee. Next year, it's going to be life without Peyton and life with T. And there he is, big, good-looking youngster under it, center, and he hands it off. Let's take this all off here.
Little bootleg. He does that very well. He's a very mobile type quarterback. He's going to stretch the pocket, get outside, force the defense, and that's something that he does very well.
Antron Peoples, the tight end, wound up with it. There you go. There's the fake.
Leg.
That's nice. Then he tosses out to Antron. Big tight end from Murfreesboro, Riverdale. 18 yards. Antron's One of those guys that's been around at different positions, defensive end, linebacker at one time. Here's the handoff and not much room there for the balls. Brian Darden carries the football. Darden reportedly told a Vicksburg newspaper this past week that he would make a decision at Christmas as to whether to transfer to one of the schools in his home state. One of them mentioned is the school he's playing against right now. If that's so, he'd have to sit out a year, but he could go to Jackson State or Alcorn and play immediately, and those were two others that he mentioned. Or he says later in the week that he might have been misquoted. Here's the pitch back. He tries to get outside this time, and not much. He came in with extremely high credentials. One of the most recruited players in America, but Condridge, it just hasn't happened for him. I don't know if it's just been bad luck or if it's just been ability on his part. It just hasn't happened.
Well, it's been a case of bigger, stronger fullbacks, and with his body type, he's at best a situational player. He can't play every down. I mean, we just had bigger backs to fill in the spot that can play all the time and block and pass, catch, and run the football.
Well, T takes a big loss. He's going to have to learn there. You get rid of that football, but you also give credit to Southern had a lot of people coming. You saw the score. Number 3, Penn State was crushed by number 4, Michigan today, so obviously Penn State's going to take a pretty good tumble. Ty Trahan was the man who made the stop that time, first sack. And it forces Tennessee into a punting situation with a couple of minutes, and we've gone under the 2-minute mark to go. Hogue is in punt formation for Tennessee. And they'll have to go right back and play some defense. It's not a great punt, a returnable kick. They're trying to string it out. Tennessee does a nice job of recovering and taking care of business there. 40 yards, 5 yards on the return, and Southern puts it in play. Gideon was the man back receiving. He does their punt return work. Minute 38 before Tennessee takes it to the dressing room. Another victory for the Vols. Now they get back into conference play with Arkansas, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt to wrap up the season. Arkansas is a team that can be dangerous. Played Auburn off their feet, beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and of course Kentucky's offense has just been great this year, and Vanderbilt's defense has been great.
A new quarterback.
All right, here's the handoff as they try to slide outside. The new quarterback is Blazik, Brian Blazik, and he hands off not much yardage. Carrying the ball that time was Nance. Ball is spotted on the 40-yard line. Al Wilson is still in there and still making tackles. I guess Al might just refuse to come out of a ball game.
He loves playing, I tell you. He just enjoys being in there playing football.
We're coming up on the 1-minute mark right now. Southern with the football with a second down. They need 3, and they're going to get it. They keep their drive alive here. It's just a clock killer, though. They're not going downfield with it in the air as you would expect. Once again, it's Kelby Nance carrying the ball from tailback. He's actually the number 3 tailback for Southern. About half the crowd or more has filed out of here. Pretty well satisfied, I think, with what they have seen. They were not happy campers in the first quarter and a half, though. 34 seconds to go. Southern Mississippi with the football. They've got a couple of games remaining. They slide outside. Here's some big yardage. Picked up down to the Tennessee 40-yard line. That should stop the clock on the first down. 15 yards on that one. That's again Nance. There he is. Pretty good-looking guy for number 3 on the depth chart. Jeff Bowers, played quarterback at Southern. He's back home to coach his team and has done a very good job. This is his 3rd Southeastern Conference opponent, and he's lost only to Southeastern Conference teams. He's beaten everyone else on his schedule.
I'll tell you, this team is fought all day long. deserves a lot of credit because they didn't quit. They just got, Tennessee had more weapons and just tired them down, and they got tired in the second half, and Tennessee just overpowered them. But that Southern Mississippi is a good football team.
Peyton Manning being from New Orleans and Southern not that far away in Hattiesburg, he played against a number of these guys, and I guess Raynaud Thompson has, and Jarvis Rito and some of the other guys from Louisiana. And so they were playing against some friends here tonight, and it's a very friendly scene down there as Tennessee and Southern players congratulate each other. Manning wound up on the night 1 yard on our figures shy of 400. 35 of 53 for 399 yards and 4 touchdowns. And folks, he did that against a very solid defense. In fact, the secondary of Southern is one of the better ones around, and certainly